And you're watching Swiss Watch International's World of Watches. We're broadcasting live from Miramar, Florida. And this is our new studio as well as our new corporate offices. And we are delighted to be spending the next 3 hours with you. Now, don't go away. We have the very best in watches for you. And they're going to be at the best prices. Remember, this is Black Friday weekend, and we're not going to disappoint with the selection or the prices. I'm Wiley, and to my left is...
I'm Megan, and we're so excited to be back out here again with you guys tonight. Now, if you tuned into the show yesterday, you saw we were able to provide some pretty incredible deals. We had a lot of different price points that we were offering, but what we were really focusing on was that giftable price point, either for yourself, getting a little something for yourself for the holidays, or for your loved ones. We want to make it easy for you to shop. That's why you'll notice on today's show as well, every single item has been reduced to the absolute rock bottom price we have ever had it at, and we're giving you 6 interest-free payments. Now, how the stress-free payment works is like this. It is what I think the best thing about World of Watches TV. Aside, of course, from, you know, hello. Yeah. Stress-free payments, what it does is it actually breaks down the total bill into, tonight's show, 6 monthly installments. All you have to do is put your first payment down on any major credit card. We process and ship your orders this week. We actually have people right now in our warehouses that have been working around the clock all weekend long. Even people volunteering their time from other departments to pack and ship orders all weekend to make sure that every single thing goes out. Yeah, seriously. What do you think you see all the corporate people in their gym clothes?
Oh, see, you have to understand, in our new studio, we have like a giant window that allows us to see into the offices and into the warehouse and even over to where the vaults are. And there are people working right now because it is Sunday night. We are broadcasting live. And there are people here, I guess, hopefully making you happy, getting all this good stuff to you.
So anyways, how the stress-free payments work is you'll put your first payment down, and then you'll have 5 more payments after that. And it's interest-free, so the price will never increase at all. What you see is what you pay. Now, if you'd like to be a little chatty tonight and you want to talk to us, that down there, Twitter. Send us a message. We were able to respond to a lot of your messages and questions yesterday, and we're here to do the same again today. So you can send us a message at WowTVChat, or you can communicate to us using the hashtag AskWowTV. So that's where you put the # AskWowTV. So if we're presenting a watch or you want to know a little bit more about something, send us a tweet, and that way we can get back to you. We also love to see what you guys are shopping for, so please do feel free to send us in photos, maybe wrist shots. I'm wearing a Raymond Weil on my wrist right now. What are you wearing?
Oh, I'm just wearing a Corum.
It's from the show. It's not his own.
Aw, why do you tell people that? It's mine for the next 3 hours, but...
It could be yours for a lifetime.
You know, with the luxury watches on our program, with our prices, you'll be amazed at how you can get one of these luxury pieces home, because it is on 6 payments.
You know what's funny is tonight we were looking through the lineup for the selection of the next 3 hours, and we were both remarking about how this lineup, yesterday was good. Yesterday was a warm-up.
It was okay. I liked it.
It's really good today.
Oh, wait, do we have any bundles tonight? Or
We've got bundles. We've got super high-end Swiss-made watches. We've got those mid-range prices. We have something for everyone.
Oh, yeah.
So we're going to jump into a little preview, show you what's coming up in our first of 3 hours together.
The Angry Watch.
These watches are emoji faces to me.
I love this watch. It kind of looks like Bender from Futurama.
Montana. Oh, it does. I know exactly who you're talking about, believe it or not.
Oh, good. You're so much full of pop culture.
I actually do know that one.
I happen to like this watch. It is a fun watch, but it is also very elegant, very beautiful. You're going to love this multifunction. Now, both Megan and I, we love chronographs. They're, you know, you're going to be able, if you're going to need a stopwatch function, then the chronograph is the way to go. If you like more functionality, then a multifunction is going to give you a variety of things within the dials, and with this particular one, a retrograde dial at the 6 o'clock position. Wait till you see this in person. It is so elegant. You're going to be amazed that we have this watch for under, did you get that, Megan? Under $80.
I love
Some of our lowest stress-free payments you're ever going to find, $13.33, and we pay for the shipping. Friends and family, if you decide to get this watch home and it's not everything as we described it, you don't just have the next 30 days. For the holidays, you have all the way to January 31st to send the watch back. There is extended holiday returns. So shop with confidence. We are watchmakers, watch designers, and this is one of our own watches that we're delighted to offer at under $80. 294554.
Right behind that one, Ben & Sons, 287-678. Ben & Sons were some of the best-selling brands from last night's show. We've got all of those watches still available and posted right now at WorldofWatches.com. Here's another variation that we're airing tonight. Black dial, black mirror polished case and bezel, and then that tan smooth strap. What's great about this is if you love the look of vintage watches, preferably luxury vintage styles, maybe like pilot style aviation design, but you can't put out that big price tag. You know, the one where in this case we have to move the decimal point over at least 2 spots. Ben & Sons is that perfect brand for you. Very giftable, easy to afford prices here. We're talking about $12.50.
Megan, Duran, who is on the show last week, our creative director and guru of all things Swiss watch, he said, "Oh, did you see the Bell & Ross watches that you have in the first hour?" At a glimpse, he thought the Ben & Sons were Bell & Ross because it is pulling from that style that has become so popular. But you're right, you won't find those watches at $75. Right behind that is a watch that's going to make a lot of folks very, very happy. How about a Swiss Legend Neptune? Now, when you see 52 millimeters, you're going to think that's way too big. Megan, what size Neptune do you usually wear?
I wear the 44 millimeter Neptune.
That's amazing.
Yeah, that's the second of the 4 sizes.
I mean, you are dainty.
I like to think I can still take you.
I beg you, please. Oh, I'm sorry.
Everybody in the control room was like, we got our money on Megan. I can be feisty. But yes, you're right. In Neptune world, Wiley, 52
Don't you like
millimeters.
kickbox and do all the other stuff? You're a tough lady.
And that's just what I do here at work. 52 millimeters in Neptune world does seem like a lot of watch.
But it's not.
No.
Fits incredibly well. And do you like the orange?
You know what's fun about this? The Neptune, so many people own Neptunes, wear Neptunes, love Neptunes. I've talked on the show about how my stepfather, he's a collector of Neptunes. He likes the 48 millimeter sizes. This is the all-new Neptune Force. So now you get the Neptune look, which is that oversized case, all wrapped in silicone. In this case, they're doing it in that bright orange with the contrasting black. But now, rather than having it be on a silicone strap, it's on a thick stainless steel multi-link bracelet. Here's the deal. We listen to our customers. We listen to our viewers for many, many years. Swiss Legend has been around since 2005. This is a brand and a company that is always evolving and always improving. And for so many years, people were writing in and saying, I love your watches, I love Swiss Legend, but everything's on a silicone strap. I want to dress up a little bit more. I want a bracelet. I want something that's got a little bit more heft to it. The Neptune is one of Swiss Legend's best-selling watches of all time. Only a couple of months ago, the Neptune Force debuted. It pairs the best of both worlds. Now, we're going to show it to you live, so if you like it and you want to see it on the wrist, you can wait a few minutes, but of course, everything right now is open and ready for purchase at WorldofWatches.com or at the phone number at the bottom of the screen. 283-140. $10 gets a watch home. And that's probably not even the lowest price of the show. Now, moving on to our hot picks. So every single show, for the uninitiated out there, Wiley and I pick one watch that we say deserves a little bit extra attention. One watch that we feel, if there was one to buy, we would purchase it. I went with a Swiss-made watch that you can get home for your first payment of $20.83. That's crazy.
Is that really $124 for that?
Yeah.
Is that the lowest price we've had on that watch?
We have never, ever gone as low as $125. Black Friday weekend is here, ladies and gentlemen. This is a $750 watch. That's a lot of money, yes. But what's interesting, when you think about Swiss-made watches, $750 is actually quite affordable. Now the thing is, inside this 34mm timepiece, there are no crazy movements. There's nothing too complicated about it, such as one we'll see when we get to your hot pick. But here, you still get a Swiss-made watch, and with that comes the added value, and thus the added retail price. Eterna is a brand that has been around since the late 1800s. It is a Swiss-made brand that is also, as they did in the mid-1900s, the founders of the ETA watch movement. Now, we'll talk a lot about ETA and movements when we get into more high-end Swiss-made watches later on in the show.
Now, this does have the ETA 955 quartz movement in here.
That's right.
Which is going to be running at 32 kilohertz, reliable to within 10 to 15 seconds per month. An incredible watch. And again, that's all Swiss-made. I mean, that is a gorgeous timepiece and is so elegant.
You know what's nice about this is if you're thinking of getting a gift for someone, or maybe you're thinking of adding a high-end watch to your collection, it can be quite expensive.
Oh, yeah.
It can be very, very expensive. And of course, on World of Watches, we always try and make it a little bit easier for you to shop and purchase things while saving as much money as possible. But Swiss-made watches, you are paying not just for the fact that at least 60% of the value of the watch is Swiss,
Yes.
but also the fact that the movement is Swiss, that it was packaged and assembled in Switzerland.
That movement
and
has to be placed in there in Switzerland.
They can't just ship it off to another country.
And some
Hong
watches
Kong or
do
something.
that, and there's
Of
no
course.
problem with that. You may get Swiss parts, and then you send it to another country to be assembled because the labor may be less expensive, and maybe the standards may be a little less rigorous than in Switzerland. This is
Not
all
here.
Swiss.
That's right. When you see a watch with Swiss made, not only does it mean all of those things, but the fourth and final thing is that it passed all of the guidelines set forth by the Swiss Federation. So it's a big deal to go through all of those certifications and tests to be able to put Swiss made at the 6 o'clock position. Here's the thing, ladies. It's $125. You are going to see so many watches tonight in the $100 to $200 range that are going to be great, that are going to be fun. Some you might like, some you might not. Not all of them are going to be Swiss made. In fact, most of them won't be. So right away, you have something with intrinsic value here. 34 millimeters makes it the perfect ladylike size. It is not too big, it is not too small. It's just right. It is a bit more on the conservative side, but it's not too stuffy. It doesn't feel too mature. You could still very easily wear this with a nice pair of skinny jeans and a black tank top because of the black and silver tone look. I think this is something you could very easily dress up or dress down. I'm wearing another more classic watch on my other wrist, and I put it with a little bracelet just to add a little bit of interest to it. So it's always something that you could customize yourself. The point is, you are getting something that is worth so much more than you're paying for it from a brand that people know, from a brand that has a very storied history. And again, as Wiley said, an in-house movement from a company that created Swiss-made movements that are now purchased and used in many, many, many of your favorite watch brands. So there's something to be said about getting it straight from the source. If you've got a $20 bill in your wallet, you can about afford this watch because
That's right.
It's $20.83. Let's just round up to $21. $21 a month. You put that down on any major credit card. This ships you tomorrow in its original packaging. We should probably mention that every single watch, brand new, 100% guaranteed authentic, 100% brand new guaranteed as in it's never been worn before, and you get all the original packaging and paperwork. So there is nothing to miss except this incredible deal that unfortunately does expire at midnight Eastern Standard Time.
Can I give you some
tonight.
perspective?
Yes.
You love Michael Kors watches.
I do.
We have some Michael Kors watches that are actually more expensive
That's
than
right.
this all Swiss-made Eterna.
That's right.
That's amazing. So this
I like
is a truly hot pick, and so's the
you.
watch.
Oh, stop it. He gets paid to say that.
I do every time.
Six
$5 every time I say it.
6 payments of $20.83. I know this is going to be a big seller tonight.
Oh, guarantee you it will be.
I'm feeling about it. So do not miss out now because quantity on everything is super limited.
I had to try to figure out what do I want to choose because we have a collection of Corum, Breitling, Hublot for the show tonight. These are all high-end watches. Very, very difficult to decide. But with a little help and a little encouragement, I have chosen the Big Bang King Black Magic. Now, when Jean-Claude Biver started the company back in 1980, he shows up at the Basel Watch Fair with a watch similar to this with an all-natural rubber strap. It was about somewhere between 34 and 38 millimeters. It was a smaller watch. It took forever for people at the watch fair to take notice of the watch, particularly with the natural rubber strap, because that hadn't been seen in a luxury sport watch before. 3 years of development to come up with the right formulation for the natural rubber strap. Eventually the watch caught on, and then the company just exploded. Well, Jean-Claude, who is the president of the company, decided that he wanted the watch to be bigger. And he said, I want you to make me a Black Magic that is much larger than the original.
Ah.
And literally, he said, I want you to explode the watch. I want it everything like it was before. And that's where the name Big Bang King came in. Was he wanted the watch much larger. Well, now at 43 millimeters, it is the perfect size. Not too small, not too large. A lady could wear this watch. A gentleman certainly could wear it. Now, the watch is made of ceramic and titanium. And these exotic materials blended together create not just a case that is 200 meters of water resistance, but 300 meters of water resistance. Mixing that with that unirotating bezel, you have more than a professional dive instrument. The Hublot 1400 automatic movement is inside this watch. Now, that's a 23 joule automatic, and it has 42 hours of power reserve. Now, when we open up that dual deployant, dual push button, single scissor deployant, you can see the titanium back that is actually screwed down to ensure the water resistance of the watch. Such a comfortable watch on the wrist, so easy to wear. The watch is 16 millimeters thick, 42 millimeters wide, and is absolutely gorgeous. Now, the name Hublot actually means porthole. And I think when you see this watch on the wrist, you can see it really does stand out. Take a look.
You know what I love, and I know we've talked about this on the shows before, but for those of you that maybe are not as familiar with Hublot, chances are you've at least seen it as worn by or advertised using a lot of big-time professional athletes. These seem to be watches that are worn by really, really famous celebrities. And the reason being, they're quite expensive.
Oh, there is no doubt about it.
So what I love is the fact that we're almost able to bring something. Yes, of course, it's not a super giftable price. Okay, fine. But look at how many thousands of dollars you're saving.
$9,000 off the retail price.
It's amazing. I absolutely love that because, you know, most of us see things like this and we think, well, I'll never be able to afford something like that. Well, how would I ever be able to? Well, I don't make, you know, $43 million a year. Well, not yet. But here, we're making those things just a little bit more of a reality for some people.
And we're taunted down here in Miami as we're driving around. Sometimes when I'm in Megan's convertible Lamborghini, and we're driving around Miami.
Down too, so his hair, and you can feel the wind through his hairpiece.
How dare you, Megan? Hair.
It's still glued on.
Is it still good? Good. Just checking. Just was that live? But the all over the city of Miami, don't get me started, there are billboards advertising Hublot. I mean, just like you would see billboards for Rolex or Breitling, this watch,
everywhere.
Oh my goodness, and they are beauty shots of these watches. You want to talk about a beauty shot? This watch is not just gorgeous in daylight. If you were going out in the evening with the lovely Miss Harris in her convertible Lamborghini, and you wanted to see what time it was, probably time to go buy an ATM machine to get more money because she's an expensive date, look at this loom.
I was trying to do the clap on.
Doesn't that look great?
I love that. I really like the arrow on the continuous running seconds and how it's highlighted all in lume there. They didn't just do a little dash.
No, that is exactly right. And it is an easy-to-read watch, whether day or night. You would expect it from a watch that is $17,000. Now, understand it's a simple three-hand configuration, if you could call this movement simple. The hour, the minute, continuously operating stylized sweep hand, a reverse date window, which is going to be a black wheel, white lettering there at the 3 o'clock position. It is a gorgeous watch all the way around. For those of you who've been longing to add a Hublot to your collection, $17,000 is the list price. The wow price of $11,999 is going to be back in force at midnight on Sunday. Tonight, We only have 6 of these for the entire
Wow.
planet.
That's it?
That's it.
Oh my gosh.
You know, as one of the number one, well, we are the number one seller of Swiss watches in North America. We have incredible buying power, and that buying power allows our buyers to negotiate with our suppliers, and that is when we're able to get these limited quantities. Obviously, we can't get unlimited quantities of the Breitlings and the Hublots and the Corums, but when we do, for 6 lucky individuals, you're going to be able to get this watch for $1,383. That gets it home. And then you have the 6 stress-free payments. That first payment of $1,383 put on a credit card, not a debit card. When it's put on a credit card, then in the following months, we charge you that identical amount until the watch is paid off. But you get the watch right away. And imagine going to the bank, you've heard me say it, and asking for $8,299 interest-free with no paperwork, no credit check. You just walk in and request it. That's all you got to do. If you call 877-969-8818, tell them you want the Big Bang King Black Magic, put down that $1,383, we're going to send you the watch tomorrow. And it's going to be interest-free. And that hopefully will be stress-free. 278496 will get you the Hublot Big Bang King Black Magic.
294554. We are going to an all-new Lucien Piccard, the 45mm Montana. 2 variations of this. I will give you a little tour of this first one while Wiley suits up with the second, perhaps more classic variation.
Oh, I like this watch.
We're starting with a little bit more of a colored one here with the rose tone and black. Of course, if you've ever watched the shows before, you know I wax poetic about how much I love rose and black as a color combination together. I know that this watch is a full-out dress watch because that tends to happen when you have 18-karat yellow gold or rose gold. And here with that beautiful tone, it does have more of that upscale look. But this is the kind of timepiece that for $80, no one is going to think you spent $80. Let's be honest. Now, looking into the dial of your 45mm, you'll notice the silver tone backdrop. And you can see here, it's actually really interesting because this is a great example of a watch that is a multi-level, multi-layered dial. Look through the little sub-dials here, the top 2 and then this lower portion here, which is half of a sub-dial. It actually functions as a retrograde. We'll get to that in a moment. You can see that silver tone backdrop is all brushed and then has this striped, almost vertical striping, almost like a variation of a Côte de Genève that you would see decorating a movement of some sort. Through that, you'll be able to see this black dial portion where you've got all the different functionality that make this watch a multi-function. And what that means is it's a broken out calendar. At the 9 o'clock position right here, you've got a little 24-hour sub-dial. What that shows you is AM and PM of your currently displayed hours. So for example, looking at the time on this watch right now, you can see it's 10:10. That little hand is pointing to a 22, to an indicator that means 22. If that was a 24-hour ring, which it is, that means this is PM. If that little hand was pointing down there, in between the 8 and the 12, you would know it was 10:10 AM. So it's an AM-PM indicator. At the 3 o'clock position, you've got 1 through 31. That's your calendar date. And what's nice about this is like multifunction for dummies because it's all broken out for you. 24-hour date. Now what's down here? This is your day of the week complication. And it functions like a retrograde. So watch this. As the days go, I pulled the crown one time. And this is how you operate your different features. So every single day, Monday through Sunday. Then watch what happens right there. When it hits midnight on Monday morning, it snaps back. So every day of the week, that little hand goes all the way through 7 days. And then rather than completing a full circle, it snaps back into place. Seems like a no-brainer. That is a very complicated feature to have. Retrogrades are always more expensive, and that's why they're more rare to see. Now look at the Arabic numerals and stick hour markers. Notice how they are nice and big. These are vibrant, hand-applied Arabic numerals. You can see when I tilt the case, you can see how tall they are underneath that crystal. So you've got this multi-level dial. A nice thick case here. Let me give this a little quick polish. So you can see the bezel sits atop the stainless steel case. Again, it's a multi-piece design, multi-levels as well. Croco embossed, genuine leather strap, and your case back where you can see all of the different information, including your Citizen Miyota movement, your proprietary Sapphitech crystal, that's our company's own crystal that is every bit as scratch resistant as a sapphire. You've also got a little bit of water resistance here at 50 meters, although you would never go swimming in a watch like this. It's nice to know you have that option. Maybe you're at the corporate Christmas party and you get pushed in the pool. Who knows? Anything can happen. $80 for all of this. $80 for all of those good looks and a 5-year warranty. Now, this is the black and rose variation.
Looks nice.
It does look nice. However, some people out there, and I know my boyfriend fits into this category, don't wear plated watches, gold or rose or any. They're not jewelry kind of guys. So what do you get somebody that you know isn't really going to be in the rose or the yellow gold sort of family?
Well, that's going to be easy. It's going to be the classic silver. Because what you have, when you have rose gold like that, you actually have ionic plating on there. It's going down to many microns to get that gold attached to the stainless steel. Now, some folks, either they're going to wear solid gold or they want the natural metal. The natural metal, and this is 316L stainless steel. So this is not like a chrome coating. It's the metal itself to a high mirror polish. And when you take a look at this close up, what you're seeing is a watch that's going to look beautiful for years to come. Now, I have no expectation that that rose gold is going to come off there under normal wear and tear. It's just not going to do it.
Oh, no, that does not happen.
But should you get this type of stainless steel scratched, you have the ability to have it buffed out. You can only buff the gold so much. In fact, our jewelers here will not buff a gold-plated watch because,
oh, is that right?
Well, there's you don't know if it's another manufacturer. You don't know how deep the micronic plating is. And if you have an inexpensive watch that doesn't have the high layer of gold like this does, you can buff it right off. Not so with our brands. We go with a much deeper layer of gold. This is just the natural metal, and as you come into an even closer shot, you can see how beautiful and classic this looks. Look at those hand-applied Arabic numerals on the outer chapter ring. You're exactly right. There's almost this wainscoting style, Côte de Genève, that is running through the 3 sub-dials, the traditional dials at the 9 and 3 o'clock, and of course the retrograde at 6. A beautiful watch. Which one do you like better, Megan?
You know what's funny is I always go for black and rose, but I like the black and silver tone. I like that it's a bit more classic. I think maybe you could dress it up or dress it down a little bit more. And these watches, yes, I know, I always joke that they look like the emoji faces inside. But you know what? You got to have a sense of humor about it, right? Did you like that?
I do. We'll edit that out. Don't worry. That'll never make it to YouTube.
Oh, yeah, sure.
And do people know that we're also...
I was just about to say, you just took it right out of my mouth.
We're going to tell you right now, if you're watching us on DirecTV or one of the other affiliates that carry us, we're so glad. But if you're away from home and you still want to catch up with us, whether you're watching up on... Hi, Megan, how are you? And you want to catch up on your smartphone or on your laptop, you know, these shows are rebroadcast on YouTube as well as our own website at World of Watches. We're streaming on Facebook.
We're streaming on Facebook right now. They're telling us we're streaming on Facebook. That is so cool.
So
it's probably the best I've ever been on Facebook, by the way, is right now.
Really? So there's many ways to catch us online, but more importantly, the watches. And if you didn't get to see yesterday's program, it's already posted online, so you can go back and see some of the footage of us holding the watches and maybe showing you more than just that 2-dimensional way, but in 3-dimension, how they fit on the wrist and what we kind of think of them, which we try to be as painfully honest as possible, even when we see a face on the watch. Don't do that.
When I was young, my grandma used to tell me that somebody was going to come down and freeze my face like that.
Really?
You know, like when you make a mean face, my grandma would say, somebody's going to come down and freeze your face.
I used to tell my kids when they misbehaved that every time they did it, it made Santa sick. One year I told them that
Santa... He has angels. He really does.
Yeah, because they were terrified. Megan, I have a question for you. Mm-hmm. Do you want to give more information about watches tonight or go through a lot of watches? Audience, we're gonna take your poll on this. If you'll go ahead and tweet us and tell us, do you want us to talk more about individual watches or give you more watches, because we've got hundreds of watches off stage here, and we can go through a lot, or we can just cover things exclusively. And tell us you like the new set.
Yeah,
because
that's right. Let our crew know what you guys think of the set here, because they did such a good job, and it's still ongoing. It's actually not even finished yet, which is so exciting.
there are people under the desk right now still.
Tickling me.
Is that what that was? Massaging Megan's feet.
It's
I
in
love
my
that.
contract.
All right, let's shift to Seiko.
One of the most recognized name brands in
yeah,
the
it
world.
is.
Do you know there was a list put out that did the 25 most recognized name brands in the world of every, Kleenex, Coca-Cola, and Seiko is on that list.
Yeah, sometimes when you see our watches that may have a Seiko or Citizen Miyota movement, don't think for a second, oh, it's a Japanese movement. I realize that we are Swiss Watch International, but when you have two major companies like Seiko and Citizen, who have been producing watches for about 100 years now, don't hesitate to the reliability of those watches. Now, coming up first is going to be this beautiful 43 millimeter kinetic stainless steel. Now, there are a variety of different watches, and just bear with us just for a moment. If you have an automatic watch, it's going to be self-winding. It has a rotor that's going to allow the rotation of that rotor, the movement of your body, to power the watch. If you have a mechanical watch, it has to be wound at the crown. If you have a quartz movement, it's powered by a battery. And that battery is going to cause a piezoelectric reaction within a piece of quartz that's going to be able to tell time. If you have a solar watch, such as the Echo Drive-In Citizen or the Solar Seiko, then it uses light to power a titanium lithium-ion battery. Now, what about a kinetic Seiko? What you're going to have is a battery unit that is within the watch that you never have to change or service. But there's also a rotor within the watch, and you can feel the motion of that rotor. In fact, when I do that, I can feel it rotating. So just like with an electric car that may be a hybrid, such as a Chevy Volt that has the regenerative braking, the wheels spinning when you brake the car causes generators to power the battery so that you recapture energy.
That's interesting.
This particular watch happens to have a rotor, and even though it's a quartz movement watch, it still has a rotor that has the ability to create an electrical current that will help add energy to the battery. That is incredible. All of this in this beautiful dress watch that still has 100 meters of water resistance. The last thing I would think is let's take a hybrid electric watch and dunk it in water.
Oh, God.
But Seiko, one of the most recognized names in the watch world, they opened up their first jewelry store in 1881 and started building watches from that jewelry store just outside of Tokyo in 1924. And now you can have one of the pinnacles of their technology. Here's a watch that is using old school technology such as a rotor mixed with 21st century quartz movement, and you're going to have an incredibly accurate, reliable, and a watch that you don't have to service a lot timepiece. That is a bargain for $109. Can I stress it to you that you can get this watch to yourself or as a gift for someone for only $18 and some change per month for the next 6 months? That is fascinating.
What's
we're
great?
doing this with free shipping too.
Sorry to interrupt. You know what's great, though? I'm sure many of you out there have seen Seiko watches are so versatile. This is a watch that you could very easily dress up. This is the kind of watch that you could very easily dress down. And what's nice is it's a real age-appropriate style. A man of any age could use and enjoy a timepiece like this. Now, I am partial to the one with the blue dial, just because it adds a little bit of something different than the traditional black, which we will show you in a moment. But you'll notice on the wrist that the navy blue is so dark and so saturated that it almost in some lights does appear to be black. I would encourage gentlemen to consider this one over the black, because even if you don't wear a lot of color, guys, chances are your dress shirts,
blue jeans,
your dress shirts, your ties, blue is that gentleman's color that we always see. I always joke with my boyfriend. He has like two different kinds of shirts. They're either blue or they're some sort of plaid. Or not plaid, I know like what you're wearing. Like it seems like a lot of men's dress shirts look in this similar style. So how nice to have just a little bit of that pop of blue in the dial of your timepiece to complement the tones of your shirt.
3-hand configuration, hour, minute, continuously operating sweep hand, a date, window at the 3 o'clock position. And look, even at a distance, you can see the bright work on that watch. It just catches the light. It's not an overstated piece. It is understated elegance, and you have the benefit of knowing you're not going to have to change that battery next year or 3 years or 5 years from now, and the simple motion of your wrist is adding power to the watch. We like it. Now let me show you another variety of this watch, because just as Megan said, we both like the navy blue on this, but let's look at the classic black. Look at this beauty shot, and we'll show it to you live in just a moment. Now this gives you a great close-up of that to be able to see just that classic, strong black dial.
I'll try this one on.
And look how easy it is to read the second indices in the outer chapter ring on that watch. Now, which one do you like better, Miss Harris?
The blue dial is the one that I'm a bit more partial to. I'm going to show you the two of them side by side. I've got the black dial on my wrist right now. This was that navy blue, and you can see that the navy blue is so dark, it almost appears to be black. But this is the true blacked out kinetic, complete with the black ionic plated bezel. You'll notice that black bezel sits atop the silver tone case. It's a nice low profile design. So what's great about that is for you gentlemen wearing this underneath your dress shirts, underneath your sport coats, how easy and low profile it is. 43 millimeters is a great mid-range size. Traditionally, watches like this were considered really oversized, but as we've gotten closer into the 21st century style, we see that a lot of timepieces these days for gentlemen are about 43 millimeters and up. So in some ways, this sort of plays on the smaller end, given current trends, but I think for most gentlemen out there, most purists out there, 43 millimeters is still that great size.
You know, when you think of hybrid and this technology, you may think, well, this is new and I don't really want to take a chance on its 20 years they've been using the kinetic movement. So don't fear in any way, shape, or form that you're branching out to a brand new technology. It's just been refined. And maybe 20 years ago, you might have not wanted to branch out to a kinetic, which is a hybrid between the quartz and the mechanical. But you're going to be able to get it now, knowing 20 years of history, 100 years of watchmaking, and certainly the lowest price. You're going to love it. It's the Seiko Kinetic. 254796, and it'll get that watch home to you.
All right, now, very exciting what we're able to do right now is we're going to take a quick moment from our lineup that we have scheduled right now, and we're actually going to visit very quickly 3 of yesterday's best-selling watches. Now, every single thing from yesterday's show that did not sell out is still available for you to purchase with the 6 stress-free payments and the WOW TV price until midnight tonight Eastern Standard Time. But in case you did miss it or you want to just see a little bit more in those beauty shots, here's the first one. This is one of the best sellers from yesterday, 288299. Why is this a bestseller? Because it's 2 for the price of 1. That's right. In that shot there, you are looking right here at the 46 millimeter Swiss Legend Commander. That's the 48 millimeter Swiss Legend Sprinter. Black and rose on the Sprinter, silver tone with a bright yellow silicone strap for that 46 millimeter Commander. And that Commander is one of the most popular Swiss Legend watches of all time. It's a 200-meter professional-grade diver with a Swiss-made ISA quartz chronograph movement inside. Now, that rose and black 48-millimeter Sprinter is done in a massive cushion-shaped case for the racing enthusiasts out there. Here's the kicker. They both come packaged individually. So what that means is you get 2 watches in their original packaging, 2 boxes, so you can very easily separate them and give them as 2 different gifts. 288299. 5-year warranties on each watch and 10-year warranties on the Sapphitech crystals. Now, we have extended our holiday return policy, so you can get 100% money-back guarantee through January 31st of next year. So you've got about 2 months with our holiday return policy. Normally it's 30 days. Right now it's about 60. 288299.
Now, right behind that, you know, we love Redline watches, not just because we make them, but because they make them so affordable and to have such style and quality. Now, this is a 48 millimeter. The Night Rally really does celebrate racing. Now, red line is almost anything that you can take to the red line, whether that's going to be an automobile or racing boat, if it's going to be aircraft, you name it, they love things that go fast. In fact, don't you love our red line commercial that you can find?
I do love that.
I mean, they've done it's a great commercial for this watch where somebody is racing in a car, and you really can feel the speed just looking at this watch. And Megan has pointed this out on more than one occasion. You look into the dial of that watch, you feel like you're looking into the instrumentation into a high-speed automobile. And the pops of red and yellow on this and green really look great. Now, you're going to love the fact that you're getting all of this style for under $80. $13.33 gets it home. It is a stunning timepiece, and it's one that we do not want you to let get away from you. This is a great gift idea. Remember, we're paying for shipping, and you're getting all of this style. I can't wait to show you this on the wrist. The piston-style pushers are reminiscent of the pistons you would find under the hood of a high-performance automobile, and even the oversized crown looks great on this. 281692, the Red Line Night Rally.
And another one from yesterday, the West Side, the 45 millimeter from Ben & Sons. We debuted this watch on the show. That's right, we're throwing up the West Side right now. We debuted this watch on the show yesterday. For $10 down, it might be the best buy of the weekend for what you are getting. Classic.
That's amazing.
Isn't that gorgeous, though? Not just, I mean, forget about the price for a moment. It's a good-looking watch. It's a classic aviation-inspired design. You've got a clean dial layout of white and black, nice high contrast there. I also like on the inner portion of the dial how they've done the 13 through 24, so it has more of that aviation vintage pilot style look. Silver tone mirror polished case, and then set into it is this beautiful, smooth, genuine leather strap. Done in that nice light tan. I love the black and brown together.
You know, both my dad and my grandfather served in World War II.
Wow.
And my dad drove a tank in Europe.
Cool.
And I picture that this would be a style of watch that would have fit in back in the 1940s, and it just would have, it doesn't feel out of place, 60, 70 years ago, and it's not going to feel out of place 70 years from now. It's a classic style. It is established, that military field style watch. It's in a perfect size, and I love the fact that this leather, looking spectacular at the moment, is going to take on its own patina over time with the oils from your skin, with all the things that you do with exposing that watch. And it's going to take on a feel that's going to be very much yours, and it's going to be a great heirloom piece designed to last, not just in style but quality. You're going to love the Ben & Sons 45 millimeter West Side.
Here's the great thing. This watch is $10 to get home. $10, that's it. Free shipping, free returns. You get your money back provided you don't love the watch as much as we think you're going to. So what is there to lose? After midnight tonight Eastern, price goes up to $95. That's one payment. Yes, it's still free shipping and free returns, but you could either set aside $60 now or $10 a month. If you wait a few more hours, it's $95. Take advantage and shop during the show. 287-667. Speaking of Ben & Sons, lots of Ben & Sons to show right now.
Oh, now this is a great watch. So the other was kind of a field style. This holds a bit more of a modern look to it with this kind of almost tonneau shaped case. And it really is beautiful. The Voyager does, I've got friends right now that have traveled to Australia. I wish I was with them.
Yeah, me too.
Let's all go.
I wish you were there. No.
You just want this all to yourself. This watch really does look like a watch that would take you around the world. And I love the fact that you don't have to pay a premium price for it. If you're going to go to a department store and pay $400, okay, we'll let you do that. The wow price of $159 is what it's going to be at midnight tonight. But look right now for our big Black Friday weekend blowout. This watch, under $80.
Coming in close onto the dial, this is the first one we're going to show you here. It's a 45 millimeter. This is the Voyager, because this deal is tasty. Inside the dial, you'll notice a black dial backdrop and almost a manila color, if you will. It's almost like that light manila color or parchment color for all of the hour markers and the hands. Now, in keeping with that vintage military-inspired design, you'll notice you don't have the traditional 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You have the minute scale done in the increments of 5. So again, more of that vintage 1940 style. Fully functioning Japanese chronograph quartz movement. Now this hand right here is for your continuous running seconds. That's always going to be in motion. When I use the pusher at the 2 o'clock position, that begins the sub-dial at the 6 o'clock position. So that is for my chronograph. Over here at the 9 o'clock position, I know the hand is slightly obscuring it. That means the chronograph can time something for a full hour. And over here at the 3 o'clock position is that AM/PM indicator, the same one that I showed you on a watch earlier. In this case, once again, the little hand pointing to a 22 on a 24-hour clock means that the currently displayed time is PM. If the little hand was over here, it would be AM. So here you've got not only a true vintage military-inspired design, but even the dial layout gives it more of that vintage flair. Black ionic plating for your case and bezel. Notice the slight bubbling of the crystal, meant to mirror an acrylic crystal, which, if this was a watch from the era it was designed to look like, this would have been a hesselite or acrylic crystal. Thankfully, though, with this timepiece, you are getting a Sapphitech crystal, a proprietary scratch-resistant crystal. Now, this is just one of the variations that we've got. It's on a smooth, almost cognac brown, genuine leather strap, and then you've got the black ionic plating. I'm partial to the black and brown together. I know we joke about this on the shows, but for you gentlemen out there, maybe you're looking just for one watch, or ladies and gentlemen out there looking to get a gift for someone. If you're not sure if he's going to wear it more with his black shoes, his brown shoes, his black or brown belt, what have you, here's one watch that does both. It's that perfect neutral, and it goes with everything. So I think that's kind of a good, safe bet, if you will, in the absence of going for a full-on safe, which would be maybe black and silver tone. Now, this is just one variation. We're going to transition to another variation. We've got 3 to show you here. Here's another one right over here that we're going to take a look at. These are all the same size cases. They all have the same Japanese chronograph quartz movements inside. And we give you a 5-year warranty. Here's something nice. Every single warranty goes into place the moment we ship the watch. You know, okay.
You don't have to fill out a card.
That's what I was going to say. I want to, okay, so I am, you know, my personal life, I love to cook. I'm always asking for, I love to cook. I cook a lot. I hosted Thanksgiving at my house. I did everything. You know, I was texting you like you told me to cook the turkey in the bag. If this screws up, I'm going to be so mad at you.
How did it come out?
Delicious.
Good.
It was great. So I love to cook. I always ask for different kitchen supplies and things for my birthday and Christmas and whatnot. I one time got like a, this is so silly to say, like a really nice like meat tenderizer, if you will. And it had a great warranty on it. It was expensive. But I had to fill out a postcard, attach my own stamp to it, and mail it back. Now, of course, I did that. But those added steps, plus having to pay for my own postage, ain't nobody got time for that. Here,
You did not just say that.
here, the warranties go into place the moment we ship you the watch.
I do not know which one. I mean, I like the cognac brown that you have over there, but between the 2 lighter versions of that, I'm not sure which one I like better. They're beautiful.
This is the item number on the screen.
Yes.
It's a navy blue dial, though. How cool is that?
I'm having a hard time. I think it may be this one because I like the black ionic plating, which you'll see that in just a moment. But I think this really has a presence on the wrist. Here's what I think. I think that because of the stainless steel and that bright work, you can see that extra bit of design of the exaggerated flared lugs. Now, it's not that you don't notice it here, it's just it really pops with the bright work. And it makes the watch wear like it's larger in the north and south position. You can just see it looks longer like this.
What a cool color combo. You've got that rich, dark navy blue dial. Again, another blue dial where it almost appears to be black. And then that nice medium brown for the leather strap. And I love that because they're vintage designs. They do the smooth leather. They don't do like a Croco embossed.
I'm going to have to say it's this one.
Nice.
I mean, I do like the other one. I'm going to show it to you in just a moment. But this really is the one that just seems so comfortable to wear. Fully functioning chronograph.
I'll try this one on.
Please. Now, you'll notice on the watch, we'll come back to a close-up in just a moment, you not only have that 3-hand configuration, but what's nice about this is it has the continuously operating sweep hand. you'll notice that the small seconds right there at the 6 o'clock position is what runs your chronograph. There is your start, your stop, and you'll watch it snap back. You notice it snapped back instead of going all the way around.
Oh, like an automatic would.
Absolutely. So this is an easy to read watch, very comfortable on the wrist. You can see the bright work right there. Now if you like this color, but maybe you like it even lighter than the last two, take a look at what's on Megan's wrist in black ionic plating.
So here's another one. This is the black and tan. These sort of have an inspiration that reminds me a bit of the Luminox timepieces that we see that use that great black and tan color combo. Here, I agree with you, Wiley, that you can see a bit more of the definition of the case when you look at silver tone. Here, it's more of that glossy, almost looks like one fluid piece, which it is. The dial, black to match the black ionic plating, and then a lighter tan than the strap you had on. Here, a light tan for the leather strap. Back inside the dial, in that chronograph movement, you'll notice another thing that's quite interesting. Because these are vintage-inspired timepieces, there's no superluminova on them. These are your daytime watches. That's because you'll notice here that the hands for your subdials are done in a blue, almost enamel. But then the three hands for your timekeeping are done in a mirror polished gold tone. Kind of interesting that they went with a gold tone here.
I really like that watch. I mean, I had a tough struggle between the two, but I like the medium. Because you have the dark, the medium, and the light.
It's kind of the best of both. Here,
Color of a good cup of coffee.
Once again, 5-year warranties on the movements. They all have 100 meters of water resistance. Although we would never recommend you go swimming with your leather strap watches. Now,
but we've all dropped our phone or
course.
something else in the water. Somebody pushes you in the pool and you go, I have my phone in my pocket, or I have my watch on. It's great, because when you have a watch like this that's 300 meters, no worries. If you're wearing a dress watch, you immediately check, did I get water under the crystal? Did it 100 meters, so you're still protected.
it's kind of funny to think about if you do any swimming or diving. I don't do any scuba diving. I want to get certified. But I do like to snorkel, and it's interesting to think about if you've ever been, I mean, but I'm not talking to you divers out there that are not afraid to go down super deep below the water surface, but 100 meters is very, very deep. That's 330 feet. Most of the time when you go swimming or snorkeling in the ocean or so, you really only need 30 meters or 50 meters. But we're almost trained here to assume that anything under 100 meters must not be good. It's kind of funny because 100 meters is really, really deep.
I don't need anything more than the deep end of the pool.
The baby pool.
Yeah, it's always warmer there. I don't know why the kiddie pool is always warmer. But that's where I...
All right. Last look here, $12.50. We must be on our way. We've got a lot to get through right now. Here we go.
We're going to move at a high rate of speed. We're going to get through more watches tonight.
All right, let's get into some
moving
automatics.
I happen to like this. This is the 44 millimeter Optima. Now, if you want a skeletonized movement, this is certainly a great way to go, but it's not full skeletonization. You happen to have an open heart configuration at the 12 o'clock position that has a bridge that is holding the open heart in place. You also have a bit of a crescent moon shaped opening for the skeletonization that allows you to see just a bit more into the watch. I think this is an incredible watch. Take a peek inside as we come in even closer, and what captures your eye, whether the beauty shot or the live shot, is the motion. Often the only thing that we see in motion on a watch is the sweep hand. Here, this is going to fascinate and delight not just you, but anybody that catches attention. You know, one of our other Lucien Picards that I just purchased is the Matador. And it has that double barrel. It actually has 2 open heart configurations on it. Every single time I wear it, people notice the motion of the watch and have to see it. If you're going to wear this watch, be prepared for people to stop you or to compliment you, because this is not what you normally see out there. Look at that. Notice you are anti-reflective coating on there, that you only get just that ever slight bit of glare instead of completely washing out the dial. Now let me flip that over just for a second and let you see the beautiful bright work of all that's going on inside the watch. Notice you can see all the way through there. Isn't that great? You can also see the rotor and all the decoration that is on that rotor. you can see that any part of the watch that needed to be removed to allow for full skeletonization has, of course, the exhibition back, 316L stainless steel. You have hardened mineral crystal, both front and back, which is going to add a little bit of lightweightness to the watch. Water resistance to 50 meters. That is incredible in this beautiful automatic. Again, you would not want to get the leather wet, but should you get pushed in the pool, caught in the rain, you don't have to worry about losing your watch. It's still going to be working because they've built a level of security into the case. That's how tough it is. Now, I want to slip this on. This is, I love the fact that it also has a deployant clasp. You notice more and more of our own brands are coming with deployant clasp, which is an expensive item. Now, the watch has a very heavily padded strap, and that just adds to the luxury and how comfortable it fits on the wrist. Now, I'm slipping this on my wrist right now, and I want you to take a peek and tell me what you think. The Japanese PDS movement that's in here is going to be reliable, it's going to be accurate, and using that movement is allowing us to put this at a price point. I love the fact that many of our Japanese movement suppliers allow for a price point that you would have to pay several times the price you're paying now if it was a Swiss movement in there. And for $129.99, you're getting a watch that's going to be back up to $175 at midnight tonight. And heaven forbid you should pay full price in a department store. Only $21.67 gets it home. It's a classic look. It's a look that you could easily wear to the office, out to dinner. If you're heading out on vacation, outside of going snorkeling or jumping in the pool, it's also a watch that's very comfortable to wear and easy to take anywhere you wanted to go. Now, I love this variation, but Megan happens to have something pretty spectacular.
Here's a completely different design. This is the Loft 45 millimeter from Lucien Piccard. We're looking at another Japanese automatic right here from Lucien Piccard, same brand. But notice now that instead of having a partially skeletonized dial, they've done the entire center chapter. And what's wonderful, just like the last, is you're able to see all the way through your timepiece through the exhibition case back. Being able to see inside your automatic movement, look at how fully skeletonized it is right there. Almost completely see-through right there. Being able to see into the inner workings of your watch, especially, I'll turn it this way so you can see, especially as you wind it and you're able to see right there. Look at that, how it's powering up the mainspring, how it's reserving all of that power to get ready to keep the time and hold the time accurately. There's something very special about that. The outer edge here, being done in that rich navy blue, allows you the opportunity to see into your timepiece because of that skeletonized dial, but the outer track ring allows you to see where the hour markers are applied. That way you can get a very precise and accurate time keeping. Sometimes if the dial is full skeletonized, it can be a bit hard to see exactly, mostly where minutes are, because you don't have the different indicators. But I always appreciate when they leave an outer track ring of some sort on the dial, so that way you can do it. Now here's the deal. $21 and change. That's what you're paying. Let's just say it's 22 bucks. This is an automatic timepiece. That means it is more rare, it is more expensive. Price out what an automatic timepiece costs in retail. For $130 here, the total price, you cannot go wrong with something like this. And with these stress-free payments, we're allowing you to get those stocking stuffers, to get dad something other than a tie and a pair of socks.
And
no
every
offense
time
if that's what you were going to get your dad, but
But think about it. This is an automatic watch that for only $21.67 you can get home. And every time somebody looks at their wrist, I have a couple of watches that were given to me as gifts. And every time I look at that watch, I think of the person who bought it. And it just brings a smile to my face. So it's a great gift idea. And again, that's a no-brainer to get an automatic movement home for $21.
Now, we've got to move on here. I'm just going right
this
next timepiece. This is a big boy right here. This is an Invicta. This is a very special deal. Now, here's the thing.
Oh, it's beautiful.
You know how earlier we were talking about
I'd wear this.
We listen to our viewers. We listen to when you guys reach out to us and let us know what you want to see more of on WOW TV. Everybody's for years. When are you going to get Invicta? When are you going to see the
When
baby?
are we going to get in?
When are you going to get Invicta?
When are you going to get married?
When are you going to get
Where's
Invicta?
my grandchildren?
Invicta, ladies and gentlemen, on 6 interest-free, stress-free payments. Only one remaining. We don't have a lot of time here to go through this. A 50 millimeter sub-aqua from Invicta. This is a super serious deep diver, and I believe this is a Swiss-made watch, which means that having it as an entry point for $165, a Swiss-made Invicta that is a professional-grade diver. Only one remaining. Please let us know, control room, as soon as this sells out, because it's going to be any second now.
I may have to, I'm serious, I may buy this.
I know you like these big watches.
Well, you know, I did not expect this watch to be this good looking. I mean, I saw it in the trays coming from the vault, but man, is there a close-up? How close can we get that you can actually see how well this gold looks in this watch?
Wow.
Because I'm trying to find just the right angle on the light, because there is a richness to this that we're not capturing on TV. For that one lucky individual that will put up the $27.50.
Oh my gosh, for a Swiss-made professional diver?
Oh, it is gorgeous, Megan. I cannot believe that we are offering this watch at that price. Megan, do you remember what the name of the company is that's the #1 seller, authorized seller of Invictus in this country?
That would be World of Watches.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
We are the largest authorized retailer of Invicta. Turn that back around. Check this out, guys.
There it is.
It's a GMT. Swiss-made, GMT, anti-reflective coating, professional-grade diver for $165. I have to be honest with you. If it was 6 payments of $165, it would still be a steal.
You know, when you have a crown protector, you have the oversized the bezel on here that also has the grips that make it very easy, if you're wearing diving gloves, to be able to adjust this. And of course, it's unidirectional. And this is a watch you could still wear and be dressed up. Let me slip it on the wrist. And I want you to see that even though that I have, you know, a 6 3/4 inch wrist, this 50 millimeter watch is incredibly comfortable to wear. And you're also going to love the fact that you've got a bit of metal work right here, this knurled or machined metal work built into the polyurethane strap. It just adds another element of detail that is hard to believe this watch is only $164. You know who would love this? My son.
Yeah, I was honestly thinking that this would be a great watch to get him.
I mean, that's great.
It's Swiss-made. This is an entry price for Invicta.
There it is. Look at the gold.
Ladies and gentlemen, you watch other networks. You shop on other websites. We won't hold it against you.
I will.
But here, you're getting Invicta, guaranteed lowest price from the largest authorized Invicta retailer for $165. 170321 $27.50 gets it home. That is a serious watch.
That is, it is an incredibly, I mean, look at the visual presence of that. You know, I'm wearing a $17,000 watch on this wrist, and here is a $1,400 watch for $160. And look at how it holds its own right there. And you can see the bright work. See how it's just even sparkling? It's not overly done. It's not, you know, Swarovski crystals and all this other stuff and fireworks. It just has just enough to make you go, oh, that's nice.
He means business.
I'm serious. That's a good-looking watch.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, we have made it to our second of 3 hours together in our Black Cyber Weekend, whatever you want to call it.
Are you just making stuff up?
I am just making things up. We are rolling back prices. We are going crazy here. Every single item is at rock bottom. As we talked about yesterday on the show, we actually went about 10 to 20% below our cost on our watches. We are giving you 6 stress-free payments. We want to hear from you. Keep tweeting us. You guys have been very, very active on Twitter. Send us more of your messages at WowTVChat or using the hashtag AskWowTV. It's a hashtag sign.
You're doing gang signs again. You know, somebody tweeted a question about, this again, we're live right now. We want to answer your question. Somebody asked about the Precisionist watches, and they wanted to know what we had. Well, because our inventory changes in real time, instantaneously, we encourage them to take a peek at the website. Yes, we have those Precisionist watches, which can be a little larger, as such as this Invicta is, but we also have the ultra high frequency by Bulova, which is another variation of the Precisionist, and it looks great. So go ahead and send us your questions. We want to answer them in real time and let you know all the good stuff that's ahead, not just into the show tonight, but yesterday, because you still have till midnight to get some of these great deals.
And you know, we are hearing from our control room right now. If you're shopping on the website while watching the program, you might be noticing that things are selling out really, really fast. Now, we're going to do our best to give you as much information and as much time to let you know when things are down to 1 remaining, 5 remaining.
Do not wait to the last minute.
Don't wait, because as we're finding out right now, a lot of the items, even that we just aired in the first hour, are selling out, and most of yesterday's show is sold out. So please, I know that the prices and the stress-free payments, they do go away at midnight Eastern, so you might think you've got a little bit of time, but not on a weekend like this. Please do not hesitate. Speaking of which, we've taken up enough of your time. Let's jump right into a preview
More
and show
good
you
stuff,
what's coming up, including this first one
which
of
I
Bridie's
own.
favorite watches.
I love this watch. This is the limited edition Matador. You'll notice that it has the dual barrel or dual open heart. This watch to me is just absolutely gorgeous. Now it's limited to only 200 pieces. That's it. And I know that over half that quantity has already been sold. Now you have a 3-hand configuration with the hour, the minute, continuously operating sweep hand, as well as a GMT, yes, a GMT built into that, dual barrel, and you have a retrograde power reserve indicator, because one of the things I hate about an automatic watch is never knowing how much time do I have built into it. Have I been moving enough? I had many years ago a Rolex Explorer that it was very, very busy day. I needed it to be running, and because I hadn't worn it in a while, I thought a few good shakes would be fine.
Nope.
It wasn't. And halfway through the day, it just stopped because it hadn't been wound enough. And I never knew that. And I missed an appointment. I sold it. But with this watch, I know exactly how much power's in it because it has a gas gauge. $299 for a $1,000 limited edition piece. This is a no-brainer. 46 millimeter MM, where apparently we stutter when we put these things in.
It's the Matador.
You know what? Go ahead. I know you're shopping for yourself right now. You know, don't worry about Christmas. Go ahead and get your gift for you.
Yes, absolutely. That's what we talked about yesterday.
Because at these prices, you can go ahead and get something for yourself. And maybe there's that secret Santa gift you want to give to somebody else. There's a ton of great things at great prices. This is a watch you should get for yourself. It's a collectible. In fact, I'm getting this for my son in the gold edition.
Are you really?
He's driving back to college right now. I'm getting this in the gold. Daniel?
You're getting him this in the rose?
Yeah.
I love that. Oh, he's gonna love that.
Our fearless leader Daniel is back from China,
I know.
and now I'm just gonna let you know. Save me a gold one of these.
283089. And did you notice that the price is about $50 less than it normally is?
Yes, after I bought it at $50 more than this.
Only one remaining. We're not even going to be able to air this live. 169890. Ladies, does a Michael Kors even need an introduction? Gentlemen, if you're not sure what to get her, if she's not really a big watch wearer and lover, stick with a Michael Kors. It's a safe bet. Every lady loves Michael Kors. Even your daughter, college age, high school age daughter, get her a Michael Kors watch. Your wife, your daughter, every woman loves Michael Kors. This is a blinged out variation at 38 millimeters. You've got crystals around the bezel and in the dial. One lucky lady or very smart gentleman is going to snatch this up. 169890. 6 payments of $27.50.
Right behind that, you know, everybody asks about Raymond Weil.
I'm wearing a Raymond Weil.
I know you are. I saw that. You know how I knew it? Just from the back of the bracelet on your watch with the Raymond Weil insignia on it. I didn't even have to see the dial to know the quality and the good taste that you have.
Oh, thank you.
Yep, just like you wrote it. 41 millimeter Maestro automatic. This is a gorgeous type. Is that a 41 that you're wearing?
This is a 39.
It's very similar in size. This is appropriate for a gentleman or a lady. That sunburst style in the middle. You have the furnace blue hands, 3-hand configuration with a continuously operating sweep hand, but you also happen to have a fully functioning chronograph. So simply hitting that pusher at the 2 and reset at the 4, you're going to have all the chronograph functions. So even though it's a dress watch, you also have a lot of sportiness in it, not the $3,000 list price. $1,899 at midnight tonight, but until then, you have it for $994.99. We challenge you to go online and find it for less. we know that we're going to have the lowest price. You're going to be able to get it home for $165.83, and we're delighted. We're also delighted to be able to have one more time on the program the Graham Chrono Fighter. Now, that watch we may just do a mention of because, you know, that's one of the watches that as we're running out of quantity, we're going to have to just make sure that you have this last chance to get them before they're gone. Because we've generally done this at over a $2,000 price point. It was $2,200 last time we aired it, and they were still selling. Here, the 42mm chronograph that happens to have the Greenwich Observatory etched on the back of the watch. It has a snap-down exhibition back that allows you to see into the beating heart. A beautiful automatic movement in this. The oversized trigger style pusher at the 9 o'clock position. This is a watch that since the late 1600s, Graham has been building watches, and we're delighted to offer this unique timepiece to you. Don't let it get away. I hope we're going to be able to show this to you. But if it sells out, I don't know what to tell you. It's incredible. It is incredible to be able to get. Now, usually the wow price on that is a little less. But you know what? That may be right. You know, we're being questioned. Is the wow price the right price when we market? But that usually stays up there. It's a $6,000 watch. Daniel, this watch we've been selling for $2,200. I'm blown away. This is at $1,679.
Yeah, we took about $600 off the price.
$600.
Look at the stress-free payments. You're talking about $280 down for a $6,400 watch. You are paying so far below dealer's cost. Dealer's cost on a watch like this would be half of that $6,400 price. You are half of that. You are paying 25% of the total value or retail of this watch.
I'm very impressed with our pricing on this. I'm glad we were able to beat what anybody else was doing. That is just a testimony. And I mean, where else are you going to be able to get this high end of a watch for less than $300 a month? And that's no interest. $1,679. There's no interest on those stress-free payments. Congratulations. But let's go to your very elegant, very ladylike top hot pick. And remember, this is at the price point very similar to that Michael Kors.
Okay, so here's the deal with my hot pick. We have very, very limited quantity of these. We're going to get a count right now to know how many of these Eterna Artenas are left, because they're doing very, very well. 277090. Ladies out there, gentlemen out there, this is the classic sophisticated watch that a lot of ladies need. We are less than one per state. Here's the reason why. It's $20 down on any major credit card for a Swiss-made watch from a company that has been around since the 1800s. They have been designing ladies' wristwatches since the early 1900s. Do you know what's cool about Eterna? Eterna was the very first company to ever make an alarm wristwatch.
Really?
Isn't that interesting? They filed a patent for it in the late 1800s and developed one in the early 1900s, the very first. They were also the very, very first company to create the world's smallest wristwatch with what they called a baguette movement inside. So they have been around for over 200 years designing and creating timepieces. Yes, this is a classic daytime luxury look, ladies, but think about it. Just even if you wore it a couple of times a month, job interviews, maybe when you're dressing up every now and then with a little black cocktail dress. It is simplified elegance. It is a $750 Swiss-made watch for $21. And I have to agree, I don't want to knock any watches from any other hours. I don't want to say anything like that. We try to be as honest with you as possible. But yes, I agree with Wiley. There is something to be said about the fact that the price of this timepiece, your price, not the 6 payments, the $120 or so, your price of $125 is less than a Michael Kors timepiece.
Well, this is less. It was $164 for the Michael Kors,
yeah.
And this is $124.
And this is a Swiss-made watch.
Unbelievable.
It's incredible. Please take advantage. Less than one per state and going very, very fast. I say if you're ordering anything else and you've got that lady in your life that you need to get a gift for, your aunt, your mother, your grandmother, maybe your college-age daughter, this is a great value. And think about it. It's always going to be worth, in this case, 5 to 6 times what you paid for it.
Absolutely beautiful, and I truly, if the men's version of this was available, I would have
It's
picked
sold
it.
out already.
Yeah.
Isn't that funny?
And really, I was going to get
They
the one
sell
with the
out on the show all the time.
I was going to get the one with the metal bracelet.
That's what happens when you wait. You see this?
Oh.
Don't be like this guy. You don't want to be like this guy.
Really, we're sold out. Don't we have like a display model somewhere?
No, because every single item is 100% brand new.
Oh, fine. And let's shift to something a little bit high end, and I can keep my aspirations. Because here's a $17,000 watch that we're going to mark down to $11,999. For all of you that are going to save that $6,000, congratulations. But how about taking $9,000 off? $8,299 for the Hublot Big Bang King Black Magic. When Jean-Claude Biver started Hublot and introduced the first natural rubber strap back in 1980, not a lot of folks at the Basel Watch Fair were taking a lot of notice until somebody said, you know, for a sport luxury watch, that natural rubber strap looks fantastic. Took 3 years to develop the formula for the natural rubber strap. It is incredibly comfortable, supple, but yet strong, durable, and it is very breathable on the wrist. It's also one that you don't have to worry. You know, some of our leather straps, you can't get in water. But let's be sure that this can. In fact, you can take this entire watch down 300 meters. The case is certainly going to hold up not just to the water, but to everything you're going to throw at it because it's ceramic and titanium. And you can look at the back to see the natural color of the titanium. The rest happens to have that beautiful plating on there that's going to look great for years to come. 3-hand configuration, the hour of the minute, that stylized, continuously operating sweep hand, a reverse date window, black wheel, white lettering there at the 3 o'clock position. Gorgeous watch all the way around. 44 millimeters, the Hublot 1400 automatic movement, which is a 23 Joule automatic, is what's powering the Big Bang King Black Magic. If you're just joining us and you're wondering where in the world did they get the name Big Bang, when these watches first came out, they were somewhere between 36 and 38 millimeters, which was a classic style back in 1980. But you know what? Watches have gotten larger. So a few years back, Jean-Claude Biver said, I want you to make the watch bigger. Make it explode. I need a bigger watch. Well, they came up with the 43 millimeter, and they did such a great job exploding the watch, he called it the Big Bang King. And that's where you get the Big Bang King Black Magic, a staple in the luxury sport watch world, and it can be yours for $8,299. You'll notice that there is a dual push button, single scissor deployant, easily fits on the wrist, and I want you to see how well that looks on there. Take a peek. You are getting the pinnacle of luxury, style, and sportiness all in one watch. This is the watch you can wear to the office and be quietly intimidating. This is the watch you can head off on vacation and know the watch is durable. It's the watch you can, it's in fact one of the nicest dive watches you're going to find. All of this at $9,000 off the retail price. Are you that person? Are you that lucky collector? There's only 6 of these, or less than 6 now, in our inventory for the entire planet. Everybody else is going to pay the $17,000. For you that are lucky enough to get in on this deal, go ahead, make the call. We're going to float you the $8,299. That's right. It's on the stress-free, interest-free payments. $1,383 is what you put down on your credit card. We float the rest. No interest, no stress. 278496, the Hublot Big Bang King Black Magic. You like that one?
I know you do, and you know that I love this. What's amazing, though, is when we normally sell the watch at $350 on the show, it's a bestseller every time. And yet here we are at $300. And making it even easier, the stress-free payments, $50 down.
This is a beautiful watch. I think the moment I saw it, I said I had to have this watch. Both you and I had to have a powwow to see which of the styles, because this comes not just in the beautiful silver tone, but in the rose gold.
I do love the rose, too.
And the moment, I mean, you know, here I am at years old, and, sorry, I had to clear my throat, but my son, who is 18, a little frog, and, not my son, in my throat, but the watch, when this 18-year-old saw it, he's adopted, and not really, but Just keep laughing,
Just
Megan.
go off the rails.
This watch sells itself. I don't have to talk about this watch. It is a $1,000 watch that has been marked down $50 less than what I had to go for it at. $299.99. There are over 200 parts within this watch. 200 parts that are hand assembled that give you this. Look at that dial. As we come in even closer, I'm going to hold this very still, and I want them to show you what really captivated me and had to have me buy this watch. Limited edition to 200 pieces. It has a 42 joule automatic movement. It has 44 hours of power reserve in this 46 millimeter case. Even though it is a dress watch, it still has 50 meters of water resistance. And the 2HR851 automatic movement is going to be reliable and accurate for years to come. Look at the Côte de Genève that you're seeing on there. No, I cannot rotate the rotor around for you to see the open heart because both of them are right there on the dial. Look at the bright work. Now, one of the reasons I like the silver was all of the multiple colors that are within the other bright work of metal that's on there, whether it is within the substructure that is in there. Notice the pearlage that you're seeing back behind the beating heart, or the different metal coloration of the beating heart itself, or all the colors that are within the hands of the watch. It popped coming off of the silver. Now notice this. If I decided to rotate the crown, watch what happens to our little gas gauge there at the 6 o'clock position. It's moving because you can wind this either manually, which is what I'm doing, or by the sheer motion of your wrist. And notice the gas gauge is going up. It's showing us how much power reserve we have within the watch. That is a retrograde power reserve indicator. So if I pick up the watch right now, I know I have about 2/3 of a full power of the mainspring. Now, if I'm going to be heading out and I don't want to have to worry about this, and I'm going to be wearing this for days, but maybe I'm sitting at a desk or maybe I'm not as active, then I can go ahead and give that a full wind. Do I have to wind it? Nope. Because if I wanted to, the mere motion, I'm sure that's making people dizzy right now, the mere motion of that rotor will also continue to power up the indicator. Now, no, there is a level of shock resistance there. I'm not doing any damage, but the motion of your body, just simply if you're walking, the movement of your arms are going to cause that to power up. Look at that. That's almost at a full charge now just from that additional motion. $299 is all it takes to get this limited edition piece home. Absolutely gorgeous. Go ahead and take a peek at our website because you may like the rose tone gold better. I happen to like the silver. This is a no-brainer. It also comes with a deployant clasp, and all you have to do...
Yeah, you should show this to them because sometimes these clasps, which are new to the Lucien Piccard watches, they can be a little bit confusing to learn how to use the very first time. So we'll actually show you right now in a close-up shot how you work this, assuming you get the watch. And it does take a time or two to learn how to use it. I know it can be a little bit confusing. The first time I ever started playing with these a couple years ago, I was so confused. So we'll be able to show you right now exactly how this works. And this is pretty much a blanket demonstration that can be used for a lot of different
Sure,
closures.
because you may get your watch home and it may be in the sleeve that it came in when you first purchased it. You may not have this attached to this yet because it's not going to be done that way. As they come in even closer, I want you to see that there is a little jaw right here that opens up. And when you open that, all you have to do is to take the leather strap, run it through there, and you can see there's multiple points to attach that little tiny piece that's going to lock into place. And we're going to say right there ought to be good. And once I close that, now I've got this ready to go on the wrist. Now when you put on a watch, it has a leather strap and a deployant. You're going to close the smaller end first on your wrist. Go ahead and insert that through the tang, the keeper, and then once you close this, it's already ready to slip through there. Notice how that went through. Now, if you're that person that goes ahead and locks it in place and then has to bend this very harshly to get through there, one, you're going to put a lot of stress on the keeper, and you're also defeating the purpose because you're bending the leather and it's going to wear it out. There is no need to do that. All you have to do is slip it under right there, then close it, and you're ready to roll. and it's always going to be just the right size for your wrist. Then you're going to slip the other keeper over, and you're good to go. Beautiful watch. The fact that they've used that deployant only adds to the value. Limited edition, absolutely gorgeous. Let me slip this on. I want you to see it on the wrist because it does wear a little large. Notice the thickness of that watch.
That's to hold the automatic movements inside.
Yes, but there's also something very, you know, a Rolls Royce doesn't have to be that large. But they go ahead. There is a little bit of visual intimidation by a Rolls Royce. You know, here in Miami, everybody has a Rolls Royce. I mean, I know they don't, but there's just a lot of them down here. Big car. This watch has a visual presence that they did it just a little larger than they had to. Why? Because this watch is a little intimidating. Folks, it's a 46 millimeter. It wears much larger. It has a great visual presence on the wrist. I'm just going to suggest as we close out on this particular segment for this watch, go ahead and order. There's less than 100, so half of the entire allotment is gone. And when you consider about 7 billion people on the planet shopping for the holidays, well, these are going to be gone pretty quick. Go ahead and order it. You have a money-back guarantee, and you don't have just 30 days, all the way to January 31st to return the watch, just in case it's not right or not the right fit. And we're not going to misrepresent it, but if it's somehow not everything you want, go ahead and send it back. There's no risk to you. You always shop with confidence from us.
Well, we've got a few minutes to go before we hit a top 10. So let's take a look at what's coming up next. Oh, going back to automatics with the Morgana. This is a newer variation from Lucien Piccard, and it is stunning. This is actually, excuse me, not an automatic. This is a 47 millimeter mechanical.
Oh, now what's the difference between a mechanical and an automatic?
Well, an automatic has a rotor.
Which means?
That you don't have to wind the crown to power up the movement inside, that as you wear it, or you can, but as you wear it, the rotor spins freely and powers up the movement inside.
So an automatic, you can put on a watch winder and it'll constantly stay wound,
A
or you
mechanical,
wear it. Now this is old school.
This you actually have to wind the crown.
So just, you know, most people don't wear their watches to bed. You don't. I mean, you know, regardless of the watch, most folks don't wear their watch to bed. So when you take your watch off at night, you simply give a few rotations to that crown, and it's going to help keep the watch wound. Notice you have an open heart configuration, but it's exaggerated because you happen to have a couple of additional windows that not only add a style element, but an additional peak. Now, as we come in even closer, I want you to see that you are looking right into the beating heart of the watch. But take a look right there. You're also able to see the escapement. As we come in there they go. Look at that. Notice you have motion not just in the balance wheel, but there's the escapement right there that's also moving. You don't usually get to see that. And as Megan pointed out earlier, if you happen to have a skeletonized movement, it might be a little difficult to read and tell the time. Not so with this exaggerated open heart. It allows you to see everything, but with also keeping the watch easy to read. Notice that there is every second on the watch has its own indice marker. And very, very small, very subtle. Notice the Roman numerals all the way around the outer edge. I don't think I've ever noticed that before. They're very tiny.
Oh, yeah.
So even though you have stick markers, they also did a nice homage to old school watchmaking by using the Roman numerals. But if you do need a closer look into the beauty of the back of the watch, take a look at that. This is beautiful. Now, you happen to have a Sapphitech crystal, which is incredibly scratch resistant. You have 30 meters of water resistance. You have 316L stainless steel, and look into that movement. Now, if we rotate that, notice that this is one of those moments that you usually don't get to see you having that kind of effect on your watch. The motion on the outside of the case is being transferred to the inside by the crown, rotating all the gears and levers. Now, if you have an automatic movement, almost all of them, you don't have to worry about overwinding it.
No, you could just sit here and wind it all day.
But this is a mechanical, so what will happen momentarily, Megan?
You'll feel a little bit of a kickback, almost like I can see it right now. You can almost sort of see how the crown is sort of giving you a little bit of resistance.
So you just wind right through that.
No, you do not want to wind right through that. You could actually chip a tooth in these gears right here and seriously compromise your movement.
And then our watchmakers will probably chip our teeth.
Yeah.
If we don't let you know that. Folks, it very simply means that this watch is old school watchmaking. I've often said this, and maybe I think Megan has too. A true watch collector is probably going to have at least one mechanical in their collection.
Absolutely.
Because it really harkens back to the very foundations of watchmaking, of clock making, where you used to have a key or a way to manually wind it. I think you're going to fall in love with just that, the dependence that you have on the watch and the watch has on you. And it kind of creates a relationship there that you're going to appreciate it. It's going to be your go-to watch. Comfortable, easy to wear. And I love the fact that, you know, it is really a beautiful, beautiful timepiece. And it's at a price point of only $21.67 to get it home. You want to give a surprise, elegant gift this holiday season? Let this watch be the gift. You're going to love it. 287737 for the Lucian Picard Morgana. Now, right behind that, ooh. Okay.
You love this watch.
I love this watch. This is the watch that I've said, you know, in my top 10 list of watches, if I could only have one watch and they took everything else away.
You really like this one.
This watch would meet the criteria. One, it's by Ebel, who calls themselves
the architects of time.
Since 1911. Isn't that amazing? Over 100 years of watchmaking, 104 years.
We took more money off the retail price.
Good gravy.
Look at that. Our price, I should say. Normally it's what, $1,100?
Yeah.
Now it's $990. Black Weekend. Here we are.
I think this looks great.
Something that I like is that it's a luxury timepiece. It's sport luxury because it's not overtly dressy by any means. But I like that it is done in gunmetal.
Yes.
I don't see enough luxury watches in gunmetal. Look at that perlage right there.
Yep. And you know what I like, Megan? I hope the light can capture this. It's so hard under these studio lights. But there is bright work that is done all the way around the coin edge. You can see it right there, Megan. If you look, you can see how the light captures right around here, around the crown, throughout the... oh, I hope we can get it just right. You can see it just a bit coming through there. When you get this home, you're going to love at how, like, through that coin edge of the bezel. By the way, this might be one of the nicest dive watches anyone will ever own. 200 meters of water resistance, and that unirotating bezel ensures that it is not just a beautiful face, but it is truly a certified dive instrument.
Starting chronograph there.
Oh, yeah.
This is a Swiss ETA G10-211 quartz chronograph movement. So at the 2-3 o'clock sub-dial, you'll actually get, look at that, 1/10 of an accuracy, and you can time something for up to a full 30 minutes.
I think this is a gorgeous timepiece, and the fact that we've marked this down, I mean, look at the retail price. If somebody wants to take a moment to Google this, to Bing it, then go ahead, $3,400. If you want to find it at half the price, you're going to be paying $1,500, $1,600, $1,700. We're at $989.99 for a watch company that is considered, you know, top echelon, top tier. It is an aspiration watch. It's a watch that people want to aspire to have. Let's face it, when you walk into a jewelry store and you're looking at watches, you might not walk over to the $3,000 to $5,000 watch case.
No, but in this case, it's under $1,000. And if you're using the stress-free payments, and even $990 is too much, $165 for a Swiss-made watch. That's incredible.
And here's what I love. Just the feel of the watch. Everything about it is so incredibly smooth. This bracelet is ultra finished. There is not a sharp edge on it. Even the case has such a finish to it that you're going to find this is one of the most comfortable watches to wear. It's why I put it in my top 10 list of affordable luxury.
Yes. Yes.
I'm going to slip it on the wrist. I want you to see it real quick to see how 43 millimeters looks on my 6 3/4 inch wrist. And you can see that it is a perfect fit.
I love the flash of blue from the anti-reflective coating over the sapphire.
It doesn't block it out. You notice that even with the brightest of the studio lights, it doesn't block out. In fact, it just kind of reflects back instead of giving you that washed out look. That's the anti-reflective coating. See the bright work that's done on the sub-dials? the Arabic numeral 12 and all of the hour indices. That is what's going to be captured across the room. So when you're at the office, you're in the boardroom, you have this understated elegance. They're going to come in even closer so you can see even more of this beautiful dial. Look at that. I can tell you right now, this watch is not a hair puller. That's because it is an ultra finished bracelet, ultra finished case, and it's going to be one of your favorite watches. Man, if I did not have so many watches, this would be...
You've been saying that for months about this one.
I know, and I need to just break down and buy it. I'm still recovering from my major purchase, but I love this watch. All right, 284281. Let's get through a few more watches. We're going to have to move at a higher rate of speed. We're lingering.
You know what we're actually going to do right now? I think I know.
What?
We've made it to the halfway point of our time together. So
Really?
we will go in rapid fire succession after this, but first, we're going to take a quick break, and we're going to do the top 10. This is so cool. We're going to get to see what the 10 best-selling items of the show are, including possibly items from last night's show, because those items where they didn't sell out are still available. What's funny is it feels like we're not going through a lot of watches. A lot of things that are scheduled for the show are selling out before we even get to air them.
Because people have learned that you don't have to wait for us to hold it up in order to sell it. You can go online, you can order like that, and sometimes you can even beat out the people who are calling in because you click and you got it. So if you're down to the wire, go ahead and go online. But you can call too. Those are friendly folks.
All right, we're going to get ready, get set with our top 10. Just to let you know, we just got word again. Those Invicta watches, all sold out now. So, yeah, things are getting crazy. I know, sorry. This is what happens. Don't be like this guy. So, we're going to do our top 10. And here's what's so crazy. Number 10 is so new to us that we're going to just have to go to it very quickly live. And what's crazy, I have a feeling this is going to be at least in our top 3, if not the number 1 seller, by the time you guys see this and we get to the end of the show in an hour and a half. Check out why.
You know what? One of the hottest jewelry trends right now is tungsten. In fact, many of you gentlemen out there probably have a tungsten wedding ring. Maybe you didn't want that gold. You wanted something that was going to be tough, durable, and exotic metal. The weight of tungsten is so heavy, it's the same weight by volume as gold.
That's so, and you can feel it with this. I love the color of tungsten. I love that it looks like a smoky gray.
And that's not chromed.
No, this is a scratch-resistant, hypoallergenic, non-porous material. If this was stainless steel, if he was doing this to my bracelet, I'd knock his teeth out.
What? Wouldn't it be nicer just to say stop doing that? And look at that.
Look
It
at that.
polishes
It
right back
cleans
up,
right up.
because it is highly scratch resistant because of the incredible density of the metal.
You know what? All right, this is only number 10 right now. We still have to get through our top 10.
Really?
But what I like about this, have you even seen this one before with the gray dial? Look at how it's really almost like one monochromatic piece.
All right, I'm just going to complain for a second because Swiss Watch International did not have this watch when I bought my tungsten
I know.
on the silicone strap. Bought it for my son, loved it. Then they came out with this, and he's like, Dad, they now have a tungsten bracelet.
Yeah, you have to buy the full model. Look at the way
gorgeous.
it almost sparkles. I don't want to
It's
say sparkles because that's not a masculine word.
It is
flashes.
very machined cut, and it has facets on it that give it bright work.
You've also got a sapphire crystal. Hey, how about this? That Ebel watch, same Swiss-made movement inside this 45mm tungsten. The Swiss at a G10-211.
Are you telling me that this watch right here, which is $1,000, has the same movement as that one?
So this is a Swiss-made watch. This is a non-Swiss-made watch, but inside, the same Swiss-made
Well, look at the
movement.
configuration.
Same movement.
Oh.
Swiss at a G10-211, baby. 5-year warranty, sapphire crystal. I'm going to say right now, this is going to be the number 1 seller of the night. 291-526. You are at $1 a day with this watch. For a watch that will look brand new forever. My next door neighbor has an ESQ1.
This is a beautiful watch. And I remember when I first started watch collecting, and I went to a store called Service Merchandise. That's going back before you were born, Megan.
Yes, that sounds like it.
They were kind of like a catalog showroom store, something I'll explain to you when I give you a nice Werther's original. Grandpas do that. Have a Werther's. But one of the watches that I aspired to get was ESQ because it had such a strong Swiss connection, but they were so expensive. And you look at this watch, if you walked in and you said, oh, I'd like to get that great looking sport watch, this would be great for the gym, and they tell you it's $295, and you're going, oh, do I want to spend that, you know, on a sport watch, on a fashion piece? Look what we've done. We've taken it from the $295, marked it down to $199, and for the show, put it under $85. You're getting an ESQ by Movado. Let me say that again. ESQ by Movado. Movado has been building watches since 1881. They are known for their style, for their accuracy, for their iconic look. This is beautiful. Go ahead, branch out, get this watch. You won't be disappointed.
All right, coming in at number 8, we have not even aired the Neptune Force yet, and it is already in our top 10. 283140. Here, you've got the 52 millimeter, the full size 52 millimeter Neptune. But the Neptune Force does not give you a silicone strap. No, you get that thick stainless steel cradle and integrated bracelet. All done in rich, glossy black IP with the orange silicone around the case and bezel insert. $10 down for one of the heaviest, weightiest timepieces of the night. 283140. You have the Swiss ISA 2331 quartz movement inside with a 5-year warranty, and a Sapphitech crystal with a 10-year warranty against scratching. 283140, that's number 8.
And number 7, how about Redline? Redline takes it to the red line because they love all things fast. And here, the Overdrive chronograph with brown silicone strap and dial, silver tone, is absolutely beautiful. You're getting a lot of style and you're getting a lot of watch for under $45. This might be just the blowout of the entire evening. Let me just say this, $7.50. Miss Harris, $7.50.
So think about this, other networks or other websites, because I have been doing some shopping online for non-watch related gifts.
That's what they charge.
That's what you pay for shipping.
For shipping.
Yeah, sometimes more.
For the cost here in Miami of a #1 Burger King Whopper meal, you can get this watch home.
That's right, $7.50. If you're ordering anything else and you've got a teenager in your life, you've got a car lover in your life, get him this watch. 148880, that's number 7.
That's a great, great value.
I love this watch. We aired this watch
too.
yesterday, number 6. This Swiss-made watch features a modified Valjoux 7750 25 jewel.
I do not understand this. I do not understand how they're doing this. A Valjoux 7750, regardless of whether it's a modified version or in the original configuration, you do not find it for under $1,000. You just don't. Period. End of sentence. That's why the wow price is what it should be. I, honest to goodness, do not know how they're doing that for $489. I'm not going to say I don't trust you, Miss Harris, but I had to go back and look to make sure this was a Valjoux. I'm going, that can't be right. She's wrong. She's been drinking again. She's off the wagon.
Maybe, but I still know my watches.
Apparently you do, because this is one of the best deals of the show.
I also love the texturing inside the dial. It almost looks like a reptile snake print. Hands down, we aired this watch yesterday. We both agree it is one of the most attractive yet classic watches for gentlemen out there that know their stuff, that know Valjoux, know Swiss made from Bulova. This is the way to go. There are only 4 remaining as of right this second. 226300. 6 payments of $82. Number 5. I know I predicted that one tungsten is going to be number 1. Here's one that's already in the countdown, coming in at $180. Even better though, $1 a day. This is all tungsten again with that Swiss Legend red dial. Everything on this watch is scratch resistant. You've got the tungsten, you've got the sapphire crystal. You have a watch that you are going to purchase, wear every day, and it's always going to look brand new. This is the kind of watch where if you're walking and you accidentally bang your wrist in the side of the desk or on the door frame when you're walking through, I don't know, anything can happen. I'm thinking of all these crazy scenarios. This is a watch that you'll look down and you go, oh no. You'll look down, brand new. Not a single mark
Yes,
on
if you
it.
bang this watch into the wall, you'll have to repair your wall,
Yeah.
not your watch. I can't tell you it's bulletproof, but
Close enough.
Wonder Woman would wear this because it would deflect bullets.
70595, that's number 5.
That's a great deal on that watch.
Here's another one that's very attractive too. I like this one because it does have the best of a bunch of different colors. You've got black, silver tone for the subdials, and little pops of red inside the dial. The color of tungsten, as we were talking earlier, it makes it look almost like a chromed out watch. Scratch resistant. I love this. It's like a little insurance policy. You buy one and you're guaranteed it's always going to look brand new. Swiss ETA G10-211 quartz chronograph movement with a 5-year warranty. 71242. That's number 4. Again, we are really down to limited quantity of these. If you remember, I know, so you were here when we had tungsten on silicone strap.
Did not have the bracelet.
We didn't even have them on bracelet. We've since sold out of silicone strap. Don't know when we're going to get them back in. Here's another one coming in at number 3, 70594.
I love it. This is the Superman watch because you've got that red, that blue. Oh, and you know what? This is one of the watches that you don't want these to get away because we don't know when they're coming back. We don't know what the price of tungsten is going to be when they remanufacture them. And I guarantee you they're not going to be the same price as we're having on our Black Friday weekend. So go ahead, consider this for your collection. Only $30 to get it home.
This
6
is your
stress-free.
favorite?
I like this one. This is the Superman version to me.
It does have that pretty blue dial in it. It's almost a royal blue.
But if you wanted to do a bit more dressy version of this, the next one.
70594 for number 3. Coming in at number 2, 70593. It says white, it's not. It's a silvery white dial. It's got a sheen to it that makes it look almost silver, and it matches beautifully with all the tungsten.
That's a good looking watch. This is one that even though it's a sport watch, it dresses
It
up
can
with
be
that
dressed
dial.
up, absolutely.
And I would say you wear this to the office, wear it to the boardroom, wear it to the beach, wear it on that cruise, wear it on all of your adventures because it's tougher than steel. It's as tough as tungsten. And coming into is this number 1?
We're going to number 1 right now.
Do you know what it is?
I know what it is.
Oh, they've just brought it out. Look at this.
All right, our number 1 seller is holding strong another day, 288299. This is 2 for the price of 1. The Commander and the Sprinter. The total price for both watches is $70. Which one are you putting on first?
I'm going to hold one. I'm going to put on the other one because you need to see that these watches really have quite a presence both on the hand and on the wrist. These are big watches, but they're incredibly comfortable to wear. I have to tell you that the silicone strap on here is incredibly supple. I mean, it is just, it is as soft as anything you're going to put on your wrist.
You know
to
what
be
I
that
like?
tough.
You know what I like? We didn't do a bundle with 2 watches that were very, very similar. We did one that is automotive and one that's a diver. I like that because sometimes we tend to do bundles where it's the same watch in different colors or they're the same kind of style. This, you could give them to 2 completely different personalities.
Or this may be somebody's very beginning of their watch collections.
Yeah.
You have to have more than one. Well, here you are.
$11, you've already got 2 Swiss movements.
That's amazing. I mean, take a look at that. Now, I've got both watches that I'm holding. I want you to see the one on the hand, which is our dive watch, and there's our automotive-inspired watch. And because they've used pops of gold throughout this, easily dresses up. So you want to wear blue jeans and a button down? Fine. You are ready to head out for that evening. If you want to wear this to the office, you want to wear it to a much more sophisticated occasion, when you flash gold coming out from under your cuff and that beautiful black bezel, don't worry, you're going to look great with this watch because it looks very similar to, I'm going to say, maybe some of the Tag Heuer automotive inspired watches, such as the Monte Carlo and some of the others that really look great. We realize those are 2 different watches by far, but you're getting both of them for under $70.
Now this one right here is a 48mm cushion shape case. It has the ISA 2331 quartz movement inside. Transitioning though to the watch that is credited with putting Swiss Legend on the map. I know that's a cheesy thing to say, but it is the truth. 46 millimeter commander. This one wears like a 48. It wears the same size as the 48 because of the thickness of the lug area. So if this was the automotive, this is for the diver in your life, because this is a 200-meter water-resistant professional grade diver with the Swiss-made ISA 8172 day-date quartz chronograph movement.
You notice how the stainless steel on the bezel is reflecting the light, but you can see that the crystal is doing a great job with its anti-reflective coating. Beautiful all the way around. And this is a multifunction. It's not just a chronograph. You have subdials that are providing additional information. A chronograph is only going to provide you the numeric information for timekeeping. This is also going to give you, such as the day on there, as well as our date complication. It is a beautiful timepiece, and like I said, I want you to see how soft and supple this silicone strap is.
You know, I own obviously a lot of Swiss Legend watches and Lucien Piccard watches that use these silicone straps, and they are so comfortable if you wear them to the gym. I wore one the other day when I went on a really long bike ride. If you're sweating, it's really comfortable and easy when you wear something that's got a silicone strap. Because a bracelet or even a leather strap doesn't feel very good.
And you do not have to choose which one of these to purchase. You're getting both of them.
Both of them come with 5-year warranties on the Swiss-made movements. Both of them come with 10-year warranties on the crystal. Swiss Legend Sapphitech crystal is the only crystal in the watch industry. I don't care if you've got a $15,000 or a $50,000 watch on your wrist. Your crystal is not warranted if you scratch it. If you scratch this, it's warranted for the next decade.
So yeah, when you just understand, when you buy this watch in 2015, it'll be the year 2025 when your warranty on your crystal expires. 2020, we'll have flying cars by then. All right, folks, congratulations to all of you for picking up that great bundle. And I'll let you in on a secret. If you get to the website before midnight, you're going to find that there are some other bundles, such as the Abyssos and Neptune combination.
Oh, yeah.
And with that combination,
that's automatic.
You're going to get a Swiss-made automatic 1,000-meter dive watch. You're going to get a wonderful dive watch that has a Swiss movement. You're going to get a watch winder, and you're going to get a 3-slot watch box. Yeah, you're going to have to go to the website and check that out. You're probably going to find a whole lot of other great deals right there. Now,
all right, your #1 seller, and away we go. Now we go high end. Very, very high end.
well, you know what?
The 38, how is this a 38 millimeter? Let me see that.
You want to measure it out before we put it on the air?
It just seems, I mean, I believe it, but there's something, you know what it is? I think because it has an integrated bracelet, yeah, it's a 38 millimeter. It's going to wear closer to a 40 millimeter, this Movado. And the reason for that, I believe, is because of the integrated bracelet.
I think this is a gorgeous watch, and I have to just, really stress to you right now that Movado is one of the most iconic watches in the watch world. Now, understand that Movado's been building watches since 1881. Now, this style that you're seeing right now, which is often called the museum dial, was first created in 1947 by Nathan George Hurwitz. And by 1960, remember 1947 is when he first came up with this style of design, which is that plain, stark background. It was originally black with just a dot at the 12 o'clock position, which was an homage to the rising sun. By 1960, it was so iconic in the watch industry that it was put on permanent display in the Museum of Modern Art. And now, for all of these years, some 75, 80 years, it has been a staple in the watch world of really that perfect watch dial. Here you can have it in this beautiful sports edition, a little bit smaller size, classic in style and design, of 38 millimeters, appropriate for a gentleman or a lady. It's an all Swiss-made watch, 316L stainless steel, sapphire crystal. You're going to have, and this is a heavy watch. I mean, do not let the smaller size fool you. They've used a very, very high-grade version of the 316L stainless steel that is very dense and heavy. But look how thin the watch is. Now, I'm going to slip it on the wrist. I want you to see how it looks. It is a simple two-hand configuration with nothing fussy that's on there. Oh, boy, that's comfortable. Megan, this is a watch you're going to have to try on, too, because I think this is going to look just as gorgeous on your wrist as it does look sophisticated on mine. You can see right there, this is really the perfect timepiece. Now look how low profile that is. That is great. I love just the little dimpling that's working its way all the way around the watch. You notice it starts right there at the homage to the rising sun, and then it continues all the way around the bracelet. I think that looks great. Now, what you have, I hope you can see that right there, you're going to have a dual push button, dual deployant, which is going to make this easy to slip off and on the wrist. Speaking of which, I want you to see how beautiful this looks on a young lady's wrist. Tell me what you think about that, because that's about the size of the watch you're wearing, that Raymond Weil you have.
This does wear closer to a 40 millimeter than the measured 38 millimeter size. Just consider it a 40, if you will. What I do think is because you've got an integrated bracelet, notice how there's really no separation. It's bracelet right into case. That's what makes it have a dramatic, larger appearance on the wrist. Is this not the most incredibly low profile design? I mean, it's like not even wearing a watch at all. It is so slim. It could fit even under French cuffs. And I do love the way that concave dot is matched up purposely all the way around the bracelet and in the spots around the bezel. This is one of the most recognized dials in all of horology. At $70 down, let's think about this for a moment. We have slashed nearly $1,000 off the price of a Movado timepiece. And you can get them. Did you ever think when you walk by that jewelry store that you could ever walk into the Movado store and put down $70 and walk out with a $1,400 Swiss-made watch? That is exactly what you are doing right now. You are walking into that jeweler from the comfort of your own home, and you are putting $70 down on any major credit card, and you are locking in an interest-free payment plan so that for the next 5 months, starting in December, ending in April, you will pay only $70, and yet it's not layaway. Ladies and gentlemen, these are not layaway plans. You will get your watch within a matter of days from today, and you're paying $70 a month for a Movado. 122631, the Sports Edition.
Megan, I just got a text message from a friend of mine, Sean Wilsey. He is one of the star hosts over at the Liquidation Channel.
Ah, cool.
Your number one choice for all things that, well, everything but watches. You have to stay here for watches. He just sent me a message, and Sean said a friend of his, he had just posted his rotary. And he posted that picture, and a friend of his said, oh, I have that round version of that, and I got great service from Wow, and I can't mention the next line because there was another carrier of watches that he was not necessarily as fond of. But he happens to love Wow and the good service. So Sean, hello to you.
Hi, Sean.
And let us know when you're on the Liquidation Channel. We're always delighted to watch you. And
so we can text you and bother you. We love connecting with our viewers, and it's so cool.
He's
to,
not just he's a
I know,
fellow
I
host.
was going to say, it's so cool to speak to people that do the same thing that we do, or even bigger. You know,
I have to thank Sean because
really
when I first got the job here, there's a lot of big shoes to fill, and Sean is an incredible watch host.
Yes, he is.
I wish he was
him
here.
many times.
I wish he was here.
That means I wouldn't be here, though.
No, we'll have like a 3-person desk and be
we'll
like.
Just have like a threesome with all the watches everywhere.
Rephrase that, Megan. But
on the show.
I love you. Sean, hello. Let's move on to
quick mention here. Now, we aired this watch yesterday, 226299, but we aired it on the leather strap. We've got it on bracelet tonight. This is a 42 millimeter Swiss-made watch from Bulova Accutron. It is an automatic. Why is it called the calibrator? Look at the 9 o'clock or the left-hand side of the timepiece. Do you see how you've got that little gauge there that is set perfectly in the center? Every now and then, an automatic timepiece can get slightly off kilter. It could run too fast or slightly slow. What happens then is you have to take it into a watch manufacturer or a jeweler who would actually have to take apart the timepiece and recalibrate
break
your
the
watch.
seal on the back. The moment you break the seal, some watches have to be sent back to the factory to have the certification of water resistance because they use proprietary seals. Some of those are going to be rubber, silicone, some of them may be a coating that ensures that it is sealed properly. Some jewelers can't do that. Here, you don't have to crack open the back of the watch. Simply inserting the key into the 9 o'clock position will allow you to adjust the calibration to have an incredibly accurate timepiece.
226-299, 6 payments of $81 for a $1,700 Swiss-made calibrator. All right, more Swiss-made. You love this one.
I do. The Vaughan big date was Eterna stepping out. They've been building watches since 1856. And they wanted to step out and create that simple timepiece that was elegant, classic, easy to read, classic gentleman or ladies timepiece that is easily read at a glance, so that you could see the hour, the minute, the continuously operating sweep hand, and that large dual date wheel, large date, and easily be able to tell the time. Here is a $7,495 watch that's going to be marked down to $49.99, and that's what it's going to be at midnight tonight. But right now, we have it for $1,299. That is a bargain. And to make it easy, how about $216.66? I want you to notice first that three-hand configuration, how easy it is to read even at a distance. You can see easily it says 1009. And you can see the sweep hand very clearly, even though it is a very subtle and thin sweep hand. But notice the large date wheel. In fact, it's a dual date wheel, traditional date wheel, white wheel, black lettering. But as I tilt the watch, I want you to notice the high curvature of the cushion-shaped dial.
It's a puff.
It is. And notice even the hands right there. Notice the crook right there at the end of the hand that mimics the shape. Because within this ultra-thin watch, well, obviously this is a quartz movement. You don't have room for anything else. Don't you love the folks at Eterna? Because here is a piece of sapphire crystal, and then there's space. And then there is a rotor, and then there's space. And then there is the movement, and then there's space. And then there is the dial, then there's space. And then there are the hands, then there's space, and then there's the crystal. How in the world? The cabinetiers and the watch designers over at Eterna, bravo to you. You have created a thin line, ultra high luxury piece. That's why you're paying $7,495, but not with us.
You want to know something interesting? If you turn it back around really quick, do you see how it says Eterna-matic right there?
Yes.
That technology, the Eterna-matic, was designed in 1948. It was the birth of the friction-reducing ball-bearing mounted rotor system. That was when the Eterna-matic in 1948, and what you've got inside there was originally created.
Now, understand that in the industrial age, you know, going back to the late 1800s, early 1900s, it was not unusual to have very large ball bearings for the industrial world. But nobody was able to create the ultra-small ball bearings needed for this. This is why they were able to do that and to get a patent on it.
I might have made that a little small for you.
You did.
Sorry.
This was designed. I'm struggling. Where's the live shot? The watch is made for little elfin wrists.
It can size down to a 6-inch wrist. That was the point I was trying to prove.
And you did.
I like this. You know, it's interesting because it does, there's something about, I know we call it like a little puff, but you know, I never noticed that the hand curves around too to accommodate that puff.
Well, it is just every detail of the watch bespeaks of luxury. This is that watch that is not designed for everybody else to ogle. It is for you to appreciate the detail, the craftsmanship, the quality, and to know that you're wearing, not everybody's going to realize you're wearing a $7,000 watch. I mean, there are some watches that people will conk you over the head to get because they just think that's the only luxury watch that's out there. Not this. This is casual luxury. It is designed for the watch collector, the watch lover. It is designed for the person that wants that pampering but doesn't have to put it in everybody else's face. A beautiful timepiece, classic size, configuration, style, and at a price very affordable, $216.66. That's all it takes to get it home. 6 stress-free, interest-free payments.
All right, ending this hour with some Swiss-made from our own Swiss legend, 287-826. 2 variations of the 48mm Blue Genève. We're going to start with the silver tone and blue, the true sport luxury style. And then perhaps you should slip on the 2-tone variation. So you can see how it fits on the wrist. This first one, though,
That is beautiful. Don't you love this color blue?
I do love this color blue.
Look at that. I'm just going to go ahead and put it on the wrist. You know, we know that some large brands out there, such as Rolex, had used enamel on the bezel because it was a great way to embed a beautiful, high-polished look into the engraved sections on the bezel. But it was chippable. It was breakable. You realize it was on luxury watches, so you weren't rough with them, but something could happen. Rolex has thus switched to ceramic. Why? Because it is beautiful, durable, and it is luxurious. Well, here, on a $159 watch, we've used a ceramic bezel that is the perfect shade against that blue dial.
This timepiece also features an ISA movement that is so new. Swiss Legend is one of the first companies to have it in production in their watches. It's the ISA 8361. And you said what, it takes 5 years?
5 years in development for that
Wow.
for that particular piece.
That's so
And
fascinating.
now, obviously, at this price point, this watch is made in China.
No.
Right there.
Not so.
What does it say at the 6 o'clock?
Swiss made. This is a full Swiss made watch.
So that means at least 60% of the content, quality, and construction of the watch is Swiss. It means the movement is Swiss. It means that movement has to be placed in this case in Switzerland. And it means the final inspection in Switzerland. What is the most expensive labor in the world?
Swiss labor.
Jenny. She is expensive.
Yeah, she is really
But
expensive.
outside of Jenny, it has to be Swiss labor.
That's right.
Because they are highly... What did we say that the average income in Switzerland was?
Oh my God, wasn't it like 80,000 a year?
Like $80,000, $90,000 a year. Jenny, if you were working in Switzerland, you'd be making like $100,000, which would be like twice what you're making here.
She's not showing up next weekend.
Yeah, where's Jenny? She sends us cocoa and
She's
cheese.
in Lugano.
Isn't that beautiful?
We do have one more variation. Go right to the wrist with this next one. Now, this is the sporty one, the silver tone and blue.
I like that.
And the next one is a little bit dressier. They are both sport luxury styles. The Blue Genève collection, let's just get a few things out of the way here.
Oh,
They're
I like
both-
this in the two-tone.
Yeah, 200-meter professional dive-capable timepieces. They both, or they all, I should say, have all new Swiss ISA movements in them that we have never used before because ISA just developed them themselves.
I may get in trouble for this, but
here we go.
oh yeah, here we go again. I should never do this. But I want you to see, hold on, don't leave me. Notice the shape of my unbelievably expensive Corum, and notice the shape of our Swiss Legend.
Inspired.
When people want this look, but they can't drop, $20,000, how about an all Swiss-made Swiss Legend? Is this a Sapphire Sapphitech on this?
This is a Sapphitech crystal, so you
Which
get the only
means the
crystal warranty.
10-year warranty. So even though this has a sapphire crystal and it is an unbelievably expensive watch, what's the warranty on the crystal?
None.
Sapphitech. You're going to be able to get all of, I love the two-tone. And what do you find? Usually at a Swiss-made watch, when you have gold in the middle, what's it usually made out of? Gold. This happens to be gold plating, which is going to save you a fortune. And it's a very thick, you have micron thick plating on it. Look how good that looks. That's a good-looking watch.
You look very dashing.
Why, thank you. It's the watch, I assure you. That's why I have to wear two.
We have made it to our third and final hour of our Black Friday weekend.
Yes, we have.
It's really sad, actually. Here's the deal. We love being out here every weekend live with you guys, Saturday and Sunday nights. But there are amazing deals to be had on our website, WorldofWatches.com, every single day. So tomorrow being Cyber Monday, we encourage you to check out WorldofWatches.com. Now, it's going to be different sales. There aren't going to be stress-free payments because that's only available, of course, during WOW TV. But there will be some great deals to be had. So please take advantage of those tomorrow on Cyber Monday. Tweet us for the next hour while we are live at WOW TV Chat or using the hashtag AskWowTV.
Susan, Bobby, Paul, where are you? They used to tweet us all the time.
we've been talking to some new people tonight, so we're so grateful for everybody that does tweet us. Of course, we retweeted some tweets yesterday, like our friend Dan, who we love talking to.
Dan.
Let us know when you guys are purchasing something, or even better, if you recently got something in the mail. Maybe you purchased something.
Well,
in the past
ideally a
few
watch,
weeks.
not like, oh, look, I got socks.
Well, those too, if you want. I
Well,
mean,
we're
whatever.
just saying.
We love to connect with you guys. But send us your wristy photos. We love to see shots of what you're wearing on your wrist right now. What's your go-to watch on the weekends? Let us know what you guys are wearing. Watches.
Yes.
Because that is a loaded comment, too. We wish I
Your
just go
Miss
say
Harris is about to get a lot of tweets. Megan, look what I'm wearing.
Okay, let's not encourage them. I'm getting red. All right, we're going to jump into a preview of what's coming up in our third and final hour together.
I do declare, Miss Harris.
This is the one that I pulled out that I knew you would like. It's a green bezel.
If it wasn't for one of our executives going, where are the other one? I would I sign your check. I would have been delighted to wear the Super Ocean. This is a gorgeous timepiece, and I just want to say, when you have a watch that has, this is 200 meters of water resistance. I love the Super Ocean. This is a gorgeous watch. In fact, Matt, are you listening right now? This is the watch you need to get. My friend who doesn't have the high-end watch, who has everything else in his world, but he doesn't have... This is it. This is the watch. You're not having to pay the $6,000 or even the wow price. This is less than I can get the watch for you. This is the watch that you need to get.
40% off a Breitling watch. Look at this.
Oh.
If you can shell out $642, you have a $6,200 Breitling. A watch that you will wear the rest of your life. You will will it down beyond you. This is an incredible opportunity. I like Breitling watches because I like Breitling watches in general. I love the style. I like aviation-inspired designs. But there is something about this with the green bezel that sets it apart. $293,850, a $3,800 price for a $6,200 Breitling.
Yeah, and that is an incredible watch. It has the B23 movement. It has 42 hours of power reserve, 200 meters of water resistance, 25 joule automatic. Gorgeous. But let's go ahead and shift to my top pick, which is the Big Bang King Black Magic. And I picked it because I was told to, but also because it's fun to say. Think about it. $17,000 watch. We've taken $9,000 off the price. It's a 44-millimeter watch. It has the Hublot 1400 movement in it, which is a 23 joule automatic with 42 hours of power reserve. 300 meters of water resistance, all within that ceramic titanium case. Natural rubber strap, of course, Jean-Claude Biver created in 1980. 3 years in development for that beautiful strap that now is a standard for the luxury watch world. Sapphire crystal, gorgeous. Why Big Bang? Because when they originally had it at 38 millimeters, he exploded it all the way to 43 millimeters. He called it a Big Bang King, and that's where you get the Black Magic. 28278498. I just threw random numbers out there. I just made that up. It's watch lottery.
All right. Ooh, the 45-millimeter Michael Kors Runway Chronograph. This is a $275 watch in stores. We took over $100 off the price. Even better, though, use the payments. Why would you ever pay for retail? I know we get spoiled every now and then telling you things like, oh, don't ever pay for retail, but here is a perfect example of something you could see in the department store right now and that you could buy with us for so much less. 45 millimeters makes it an oversized design for everyone. And yes, gentlemen, the all blacked out variation, you can wear this one too. 143056. This is actually technically a men's watch.
How about something elegant?
Yes, my hot pick doing very, very well right now. We are down to nearly single-digit quantities, and that is because everyone out there is jumping on this incredible deal. Okay, that Michael Kors watch is cool and great. You know,
it's more
fun.
expensive.
Exactly, it's more expensive than a Swiss-made watch that you could have right now from Eterna. 34-millimeter case, black textured dial, silver tone Roman numerals, a super slim line case design. The entire case itself is about 7 millimeters in thickness, so it's super slim. It's on a comfortable Croco embossed black leather strap. $125 is the total price. This is a Swiss made watch. Swiss made watch. $20. If you've got $20 in your wallet right now, you can afford a Swiss made watch. Think about that for a moment. If you were just shopping with stress-free payments, if you came into the show with a budget, you could put that towards the stress-free payments here and get something that is worth so much more than you'll ever pay for it. A Swiss made watch from a company that has been around since the 1800s. 277090. Sapphire crystal on there as well. Can you imagine giving this to your mother, to your wife, your daughter, your aunt for Christmas or Hanukkah? They open it up, they look up Eterna online. It's a $750 Swiss made watch. 277090. My hot pick. 6 payments of $20.83.
Absolutely beautiful. What a great choice. Now, I'm going to show you a watch that I think you're going to like.
We got 2 variations of it, actually.
Yeah, and I'm kind of eyeing the bracelet version because it is really stunning. I just put it on the wrist a moment ago, and I just thought, yep, Megan should get that for me.
Oh, sure. Well, you know what? I'm actually surprised that the stress-free payments are this low, so maybe I can think about it.
That would be...
Unheard of.
Correct.
It won't happen.
The 44 millimeter, Alpina really does have created a beautiful and elegant timepiece that really just stands out. Now, it's based on the Sellita SW500. It's modified to feature the bicompax center configuration, which is going to be your subdials at the 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock position. Now, that's all done to position everything so that you have maximum readability at just a glance. You know, in the aviation world, you need to be able to just glance down within a split second to make judgments. This watch is designed to accommodate. Now, I happen to think this is a beautiful watch, and when you see the other variation, you're going to love both. It's going to be hard to choose which one. Now, do you have a favorite between the two, Megan?
I like this one because you get the alligator strap on it.
Oh, look at that.
And you know what's interesting in doing some research about Alpina, because I wasn't really as familiar with the brand. This is a company that actually originally, you know, we talk about Breitling being very well known with aviation.
Sure.
So is Alpina, and they were actually revered for having created timepieces that for pilots were able to be less, you know, more shock resistant, more accuracy, and more reliability, just as you said. But I wasn't even as familiar with that. And so then I found out, like the movements inside here, they buy or they purchase, you know, Sellita base movements, and then they modify them so they're even more specific and precise, which is something I had absolutely no idea about. It was really interesting to read about that.
Well, and they have a certain criteria for what has to happen. You have to have anti-shock, anti-magnetic, and there are just certain things that if you're going to, you know, be able to meet their standard, it has to be high above what you're going to normally find in the watch world. And of course, it is all Swiss made, an incredibly durable watch, and I think it wears a little larger than a 44. There's just a presence to this watch.
Absolutely. You know, I think that the 44, what happens is your eyes might go to the 44 here, but you're not factoring in the thickness of the case, because you can see that the lugs extend a bit down the sides of the case to accommodate that alligator strap. So really on the wrist, you're looking at a watch that wears like a 46 millimeter, absolutely no question. I would think that was a 46 millimeter if we hadn't seen the measurement right there. I'm going to measure it anyways.
Now, I love both styles of this watch. And what you're seeing right now is, of course, the one with the black dial on the alligator strap. But let's show you one more variation so that you can see that the watch really has a lot of personality. And the other one is the one I like. Show them that one, and let's see what they think.
So here you're looking at another automatic chronograph, another variation of the Alpina. This is the Alpiner 4. It's a 44 millimeter when you factor in the bezel, but if you measure even where the recessed pushers are, you're looking at a watch that's going to wear like a 46. Here you've got a gorgeous true multi-link stainless steel bracelet. Look at the customized push button clasp. Similar to how some of them, they integrate right into each other, the bracelets. This one fits perfectly, so it's all one symmetrical piece. Now, even though they are automatic chronographs, they do not show exhibition case backs. And that's because these are aviation-inspired designs. So they want them to be perfect and ready for in-flight, for things that could happen at higher altitudes and pressures. Again, you're looking at the back here where you would see an AL860 automatic chronograph that is a modified Selecta SW500. They modified it to give it the bi-complex design here, so you can see perfect readability. Look at that. Notice how they float perfectly in the center portion of the dial. Sometimes when you see subdials, they can be slightly above. They're almost like at 2, 3, and kind of, you know, the 9, 10. Here, they are perfectly symmetrical. You'll notice right there, automatic chronograph, anti-magnetic, exactly what Wiley was saying. These are accommodating in flight. Okay, we are getting a tweet in right now. One of our viewers wants to see, what was it, a side-by-side comparison?
No, the strap on this.
Oh, the alligator strap. Okay, so we're going to go back for one moment. See? If you tweet in during the show, our control room is letting us know, and we're actually going to go back. We'll make sure we get the correct item number on the screen so we don't confuse anyone. We'll go back, because the item number right now, of course, is for the bracelet variation. But we just had a tweet requesting a look at the alligator strap. So now here's the correct item number. And here is that gorgeous alligator strap.
Now, I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist, so I'm going to show you, you have a generous amount here, and I'm going to put it on the wrist, and that will help determine what size wrist it might fit. Now, as I lay the watch down, just follow with me just for a second. As I size that watch on there and begin to strap that watch down, I can see that I'm coming up to, I'm on the second tightest configuration, because this watch will probably accommodate a 6-inch wrist all the way to probably, I'm going to say that is 6, 7, 8, probably 8.5, 8 3/4 inch wrist. I don't know if this would go completely to a 9-inch wrist, but I'm going to say to at least an
8 3/4.
Yeah, that's going to be a good size. And you notice that fits incredibly well on there, and you can see that there's still a generous amount of strap, and it'll still accommodate, because the tang or the keeper right there is easy to put that through. So if you had even just a little bit of strap left, if you had this on the largest wrist, you still could run it through there and adjust it all the way down to my wrist, which was 6 3/4 inches. So if you had
an 8 3/4 maximum, you'd be able to be
you'd be fine. I think it looks good. That is a beautiful, beautiful watch.
All right, so that's the magic of Twitter. If you tweet us at WowTVChat or use the hashtag AskWowTV, we'll be able to accommodate any of your requests. So we hope whoever out there tweeted that we were able to show you everything you wanted. Remember, we have the alligator strap variation and the bracelet variation. They both have 100 meters of water resistance. It's the same movement in both of them, and you are getting essentially the same timepiece, just an all blacked out variation, perhaps a dressier model, I think, with the alligator, and then the silver tone dial to match the silver tone bracelet is still dressy,
beautiful,
but more of a sport luxury design. All right, let's stick with aviation inspired Swiss made watches and go to something very special.
Aviation with a bit of aquatic flair. How about the Breitling Super Ocean? Now, this is truly one of those beautiful timepieces that the moment you put it on, you know you're getting quite a bit of watch. Matt, if you're watching, you better get this watch, because this is the watch for you. One of the most luxurious and beautiful bracelets in the watch world. Now, as they're coming into the live shot, I'll show you the bracelet. Take a look at that right there. This bracelet is gorgeous. Now, usually when you have a woven metal bracelet, when you go to size it down, you have to wrap the rest of it within the watch. It usually goes inside. Now, if you can get really close up, can you see those pieces that are able to come out? You see how it is segmented, and you have the ability to actually remove links. So from here all the way to the clasp, you have the ability to remove links. The rest of it is the woven bracelet. It's going to make it incredibly comfortable to wear. 44 millimeter case, It's going to have counters at the 3 o'clock and 9 o'clock position. It has the Breitling B23 movement inside. Now that movement has 42 hours of power reserve, and it's a 25 joule automatic. This is one of those watches with that beautiful coin edge. Notice that unlike other Breitlings, which usually have bidirectional bezels with the aviation-inspired bezel, this is unidirectional.
Interesting.
Yes, because it's the Super Ocean.
So it's a diver.
200 meters of water resistance
Awesome.
and the unirotating bezel. Don't you love the fact that even though Breitling has an aviation history, that they can do water well? 16.2 millimeters of thickness. Look at that. That case is a powerhouse. It is designed to hold up to 200 meters underwater. This is that watch that is going to look beautiful and elegant for years and years to come. It is a classic in its style and configuration. It has a diver's clasp on it. It also has, which means the diver lock is going to make it so it does not come off the wrist easily at all. It's a single scissor deployant, which is going to open up to more than accommodate my wrist and yours as well. You'll notice as I close this and lock it in place that you happen to have that lock that once you fold this and lock it in place right there, it's going to ensure that even if this comes open, that you're not going to lose the watch. Because remember, unlike a strapped watch, even if it comes open, it would have to slip all the way off the hand. It wouldn't just fall off. And if you're diving, the last thing you want is to be 100 meters down and have your watch drop 2 miles to the ocean floor. It's going to stay on there. I think this looks incredible. Sapphire crystal, all Swiss made, 316L stainless steel, 3-hand configuration, the hour, the minute, continuously operating sweep hand, or it can be locked into place if you're going to use it for the chronograph, as well as a date complication at the 6 o'clock position. If you want to pay full price for this watch, go ahead. I don't want you to, because $6,245 is a lot of money. But you can get it for $4,460 if you want to wait till midnight on Sunday. But right now, let me just stress this to you, $3,852. This is time to get that pinnacle piece that you've been wanting. Go ahead and make the call. 877-969-8818. There's only 2 of these.
Wow. That's
for
it?
2 of you. Matt, if you're listening, I'm going to text Matt right now. Matt, if you are watching, there's only 2 of the Super Oceans left. And for only $642, you can secure it. I'm serious. I'm bringing out my phone.
He is texting right
I'm
now.
texting him to let him know there's only 2 left. And Matt, who has more money than brains, is the person.
My favorite kind of viewer.
His daughters are laughing right now at that. You better go ahead and get this watch, because there's only going to be 1 left after that. Congratulations to all of you who are picking up the Breitling 44mm Super Ocean. Now, I've been wearing an incredibly beautiful timepiece all night. And I want you to see what you're getting. This is from the Admiral Cups collection. It is from Corum. This is just one of those watches. It is all Swiss made. 300 meters of water resistance. Absolutely beautiful. When you see the back of the watch and realize the high stylization on this all the way around, take a look at this. Tell me what you think.
I love that it's kind of in the holiday spirit.
Absolutely beautiful.
With the reds and greens.
What do you like best about it, though? When you see this
These
watch,
are the kind of watches that you see and you just know. You know all about. I mean, they're really recognized. They're all limited editions, individually numbered from the Admiral's Cup AC1. How interesting is that?
Well,
each one is unique to the individual because they all have a numbered limited edition.
Which means that technically no 2 watches are alike. When you come in even closer, I want you to see the design that is on that dial. It is highly textured. And there is a lot going on here. The watch is luxurious as much as it is sporty. Now, you have a fully functioning chronograph. What looks like it is going to be a protector for the crown is actually very subtle pushers for the chronograph. And it has the CO132 movement inside, which is a 39 joule automatic. Here is our start, our stop, And of course our reset. That is going to be a sapphire crystal. Here is a is that right? A $12,000 watch that we've marked down to $3,000.
Oh my God. The stress-free payments on this make it even more affordable than the Breitling.
You know, here I am with, you know, here's an aircraft aluminum pointer that I am pushing into that sapphire crystal. See the anti-reflective coating?
Look at the dial. Forget about that. Look at the dial.
Isn't that gorgeous? Notice it is a concave design. There is almost a bowl shape to it. I wonder if we can capture just the right angle to see that. Sorry, I'm making it hard for them to focus. Notice the stylized cutaway hands. Everything that you're seeing is hand applied. These are handmade watches for $12,000. It better be.
I love the dodecagon shape to the bezel and case, something that we've seen before and inspired to use in some of our own company-owned brand designs. The dial finish is a grenadier fondue, so you can see if you go back to that exact detail and design in there. Look at that. See, like it's almost like little diamonds all the way around. That's all been hand done inside the dial.
How close can we get to the back of this watch? You need to see that there is a map of the world on the back, but behind that you can see the custom rotor. And the light has to be just right to capture it. But you can see through there to see the rotor. I know, there it is right there. See if I can get that to move. Hold on, hold with me. And you can see the rotor moving behind it. I am so sorry that I'm capturing shadow, but you can see right through this into the back of the watch. And it really is beautiful. There it is. Oop, almost had it. The Americas, limited. Well, yes, you can see Mexico right there, also highlighted, but it's
that's the Admiral's Cup.
Yes.
So the route.
Isn't that beautiful? Mm-hmm. All of this not for $12,000, folks. Now, the $6,000 price is a bargain. Let me just straight that to you right now. If you're having to pay the full price on this at $12 grand, but being able to get it for a fraction of the price at $6,000 is incredible, but at $3,499.99, you are right through the floor on pricing. I love the red accents. It pops against that. Look at the bright work as it captures the reflection off of the presentation pad. It really has a life to it all its own. Folks, for somebody that's willing to put down the $583, how many of these do we have? You're going to be able to get,
that's it.
Wow. You are getting $9,000 off the retail price. I'm floored. I'm not going to tell you that I wished I hadn't bought the last watch that I bought, because I love that watch. But Megan, one of the first watches I saw, which was on, and I think Jim was presenting it back in the day, it was a trapezoidal Corum, which was iconic back then, still is today.
Yes.
And I wish, in fact, Sean, who we were talking to earlier, was presenting those watches. Sean, if you're watching, do you remember those Corums? And now, this is as close as I'm ever going to get to that price point. Here is a $12,000 watch for $3,499. Brand new, in the box. These are not gently used. They are not display models. These are brand new. And we've only got two left. 292132, the 45 millimeter Corum Admiral's Cup. Beautiful watch. Congratulations to all of you who may be picking it up. Now, if you need a different price point and you happen to be Superman, I have your watch.
Quick mention here, we have seen a lot of these Tungsten Pros. 45 millimeter Swiss Legend Tungsten Pro. This one has that gorgeous royal blue dial with pops of silver and red inside as accents. You have a full tungsten watch, case bezel and bracelet. That means the watch is weighty. Being that tungsten, did you say pound for pound tungsten is the same in weight as gold?
Yes, its density and its weight is almost identical to gold, and often it's used as a substitute in measurement because it would be very expensive. Sometimes if they want to show a watch or they want to put something on display and they want people to know what it feels like, they will use tungsten and even gold plate it. That way it has the look and feel of gold. It is beautiful all the way around, and this is just one of those metals that really has a look to it and a feel to it that you don't usually find in anything else. You'd
Well,
have to go to platinum to do it.
We have a number of color variations. Consult our website, WorldofWatches.com, to see all of them. Here, use the payments. The stress-free payments, we have every single item on 6. So here you're at $1 a day for a watch that you can literally beat up and will always look brand new. 70594. Sapphire crystal on there and a 5-year warranty on the ETA movement.
You know, this is a beautiful watch. We haven't had Steinhausen in a while.
Yeah, I was just thinking that.
You know, there is, of course, a beautiful design watches. And this is the ISO movement, correct?
This is an 8172.
Now, it is a 3-jewel Swiss movement.
Interesting.
Isn't it interesting? They just chose probably at the most critical points, because you can see that on the back of the watch. I mean, they'll let you know a lot of the specs back there. But it's a 3-jewel Swiss movement on the inside. Now, jewels are placed inside of a watch at stress or friction points to reduce it. They're usually made from sapphire or from rubies. And it takes the friction out instead of having to use a liquid lubricant on the inside. And it makes the watch more reliable, more accurate. And this watch is, again, of so much style. We'll see how close they can come in. Isn't it interesting? We just saw that Corum that had that very interesting stippled design throughout the dial. Take a look at this. Here's a watch at a fraction of the price, and it has almost a brick pattern or a woven pattern to it.
It looks like a basket wove pattern.
Isn't that beautiful? I love the stylized hands that are cut away. 3-hand configuration, the hour, the minute, and you happen to have a continuously operating sweep hand. There is our start, our stop, and our reset right there for our chronograph. You have a date complication right there at the 4 o'clock position.
Look at the Arabic numerals. They're almost blended in to be stick hour markers. I see them at the 1, the 5, the 7, the 11.
But you notice you still have the very sporty feel of the Arabic numerals for the seconds that you can see at the 5, the 15, the 25, 35, 40. And I just think that's really cool that they've left, you know, 2 different styles within there, but it looks so good. Now, it's a multifunction, which means you also have a day complication, a date complication, and 2 additional subdials for the chronograph: minutes, seconds, and hour totalers. Now, you'll also notice right here at the 2 o'clock position, you have a continuously operating small seconds. All of this for $219. Now, if you want to pay $400, twice the price, wait till midnight on Sunday. If you want to pay full price, don't you dare. Steinhausen has remarkably high list price. We just throw those out because we just think those are too high. We don't make up the list price. We don't make up the list price, the manufacturers do, and that's just ridiculously high. You know, the watch easily could sell for that $400 to $600 price range. $219 is a steal.
I like the unique shape to the case. It is a bigger watch, but because the leather strap meets up right into the case, you'll notice that it does allow for a nice bit of curvature. But it is a tall timepiece. I'm actually surprised at how well it fits.
You know what? Let's look at the curvature. I don't know if you saw that. Can you see the curvature right there in the case? As we come into the beauty shop, boy, look at the almost patent leather strap on this watch. I mean, you notice that it's not really Croco embossed.
It's got like a nice sheen to it.
I mean, what would you call that? Well, it's
I would call it like a patent leather.
You know what? It's ostrich print. Notice the little stipples throughout that you would find in ostrich? So it is done in a black ostrich print. You can see the dots which would usually actually the feathers that are on ostrich, and that's kind of very interesting. I've not seen that.
I've never seen that either.
But it's done in also a patent leather style, that high polish. I like it. I think it looks good. And for $219, it's going to hold a whole lot more presence than its price point. Wow. Only $36.66 to get it home. We pay for shipping. If you don't like it, we'll pay for it to come back, and you have all the way to January 31st to make a decision. That means you can go ahead, buy it for a gift, put it under the tree, keep it at home. Then when they open it after the holidays, you still have 30 days to get it back. That's a bargain. 290484, shopping with confidence here at World of Watches.
going on now to some Bulova watches. This first one has a vintage flair in its design, but it certainly has a very, very modern technology inside this 44mm case for the Bulova Classic.
Now, you'll notice that it says 262 kilohertz. Now, for the observing individual and for the watch collector, or for those who've watched the show for a while, you know this means this is part of the ultra-high frequency collection. Bulova came out with the Precisionist line, which is the world's most accurate quartz movement. Then they decided to thin it up a bit by using that same piezoelectric reaction that you get by applying electricity to quartz, and they've made the resonation not just 32 kilohertz, which is a traditional quartz movement, but 262 by using a 3-prong tuning fork, not 2, which now resonates at 262 kilohertz. That's what you're seeing emblazoned right there. 262 kilohertz, 3-prong quartz tuning fork movement inside, which means the watch is running not at 10 to 15 seconds per month accuracy, but 10 seconds per year. The only way to get something more accurate is to have one that's tuned in to an atomic clock that receives a radio signal, which certainly does wear out the battery a whole lot faster. This is reliant on nothing but the accuracy of the movement. Look at that screw down back. You'll see right there the ultra high frequency moniker on there. 316L stainless steel, water resistant to 100 meters. Not that you'd want to get this strap wet, but if you did get caught in the rain or pushed in the pool, don't worry, you haven't lost your watch. With this level of fully electronic watch on the inside, you would not want it damaged, and that 100 meters of water resistance ensures that you won't. Once again, Megan and I both will tell you we like the fact that they've used a smooth leather on here. Some watches really do call for the Croco embossed or some other form of embossing. This is the natural leather, and it really does look good. Megan has certainly enjoyed the brown strap and black dial. She likes that combination, and you know what? I do too. On this field style watch, or military style, I think it really just stands out and looks great. 3-hand configuration, the hour, the minute, continuously operating sweep hand. You'll notice that it says 23 at the 6 o'clock position. No, that's not military time. That is your reverse date wheel, black wheel, white lettering right there at the 6 o'clock position. One more complication for the watch. So you have the hour, minute, sweep hand, and date. I think it looks great, particularly with that rope or coin edge there. Would you call that a rope or coin edge?
I would call it a coin edge.
Looks good, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. If you'll consult our website, you might even find this in a black IP case if we have any left.
I really like that one too.
That
we
looks
might have
great.
sold out, I don't know.
I know, but I like to send people to the website just in case. $375? No way, not with us. $281. $281.25. You'll notice that we've taken 74 cents off the price.
But, okay, we can make a joke about that. But, you know the difference? Every day, it's $282 one payment.
That's right. The specialness here is in the fact that we put it on 6 stress-free, interest-free payments. Only $46 to get an ultra-high frequency home. We think that's pretty wonderful. Because, you know, if you're having to put it on a credit card and you can't, and you don't want to pay interest, well, good heavens, you could end up paying a whole lot more for the watch, not with our 6 stress-free payments. 272795 to get the Bulova Ultra High Frequency. Now, if you think that Bulova is all about dress watches, luxury watches, and technology, look at what happens when they throw themselves into the sport watch, and they're going with a very nautical feel with our Marine Star. Beautiful watch. First thing you're going to notice is how comfortable that rubber strap is on the watch. It's a black dial with a navy rubber strap. This watch, also with that beautiful gray contrasting rubber on the other side of the strap, looks great. Now take a look. How close can you get to that dial? Because at the moment you're going to see, you're going to think, wow, it looks like 2 subdials. But notice at the 3 o'clock position, there is an additional subdial, which is a 24-hour indicator. The watch is a fully functioning chronograph. You have a 3-hand configuration, the hour, the minute, and look there at the 6 o'clock position is a continuously running small seconds. But if you hit that pusher at the 2 o'clock, you're going to see our chronograph go into play. There's our start, our stop, and our reset right there.
Looking at the case here, I want to make a note of something. You'll notice that the bezel and the case itself is done in this gray that you probably are noticing right now is not stainless steel. It's not any sort of ionic plating. Bulova has a proprietary material called Duramic. It is a combination of nylon and ceramic. So it is hypoallergenic, super lightweight. I'm sure you'll notice that. There is a stainless steel case back, crown and pushers, but all of this, like this putty gray, this is all done in Duramic. Notice how they've even made a little sandwich of the rubber in the middle there. Duramic is hypoallergenic. It's incredibly tough. It's waterproof. This is their sort of composite material that they have proprietary over, that they created to where you could wear a bigger sport watch. It's about a 44.5 millimeter, but that you can wear something super lightweight. And also, a lot of gentlemen out there, or not just gentlemen, but a lot of people don't want to wear ceramic. They think it's too dressy. They think it's too feminine. Here, stainless steel case back, of course, and you can even see it says stainless steel back, but everything else is done in Duramic. So it's super lightweight, but also really, really tough.
Well, and this is that watch that you don't have to worry about, taking it out in the water. It's certainly it's water resistant. The watch is comfortable with that rubber strap on there. You know that the watch is not going to rust or corrode if you're out in salt water. It's just one of the watches, at the moment you put it on, you go, that's comfortable. There is no doubt about it. Now, if you want to pay the $300 price, I would encourage you not to. $224 is a great discount, but $179, over $120 off the retail price, is a great way to go. Only $30 to get a Bulova Marine Star home. Now, you don't have to pay the $179. Go ahead and pay that $30, and that's going to be your first of 6 stress-free, interest-free payments, and that will ship the watch out the very next business day. The watch is comfortable on the wrist. There is a generous amount of strap. Why so much strap? Because you may want to wear this over a wetsuit, or if you have a much larger wrist than I do, which I have a 6 3/4 inch wrist, don't worry, it's going to fit. So lightweight, you're going to forget that you're wearing a watch. I have some watches that I only wear on occasion because they're designed to be big and bulky. They're just, you know what I'm saying? They have a heft to them.
Sure.
And if you're wearing like a titanium watch, you might say, wow, that's incredibly lightweight. You wear something like tungsten, you realize it's heavy. The Duramic and the rubber on this, incredibly lightweight. Congratulations to all of you who are going to pick up this beautiful Marine Star. You won't regret it. Now, you're going to have to shift to something a little bit more complicated. We love our Citizen watches. And if this is the one, I believe...
This is the one that comes with an instruction manual that looks like a religious text.
Well, this is the one, if I am not mistaken, this is the one
That's right.
This is a smartwatch.
Yes, it is.
Okay, I want you to just draw in close as you can, and hold on tight, because this watch is not going to stay in inventory long at all. You know, I happen to have an Apple smartwatch. They don't let me wear it on the show because we don't sell them and they'll beat me senseless.
Yes, they will.
And I wear that when I travel. It's not what I wear at home all the time. It's my travel watch. This is a smartwatch. But instead of being a complicated touchscreen display, what you're going to have is a watch that is Bluetooth compatible. All I have to do is pair this to any smartphone, and if I receive a text message, it's going to indicate that on the dial. If I receive a phone call, it's going to indicate it on the dial. It's going to be able to communicate with your phone. That is absolutely incredible, because some people who are classic watch lovers want a 3-hand configuration. Maybe they want a classic chronograph. They want all the things that you would traditionally find on a watch lover's wrist.
And you know, I agree with that, because as cool as the smartwatch that you have is, it looks like a techie piece of equipment.
It is.
And this looks like a cool, sporty, racing-inspired watch.
Oh, look at that. There's your racing glove or racing seat, stippling and
Look at the
cutaway.
Viper green. Show the inside of the strap.
Oh, yeah. Could you say, bing?
How cool is that?
Doesn't that look great? Now, when you see the back of this, by the way, because this is their Echo Drive, you're going, yeah, but, you know, like the smartwatch that I have to charge it up every night.
Oh, I didn't know.
Do you know that with the Citizen Echo Drive that you'll never, ever, ever, ever have to open up the back of this? In fact, it'll even tell you, do not open. Why? Because there's a titanium lithium-ion battery. And even though this is a very classic-looking dial, it's not. It is the pinnacle of technology because it allows light to penetrate through that dial. It charges the titanium lithium-ion battery, and you will never have to change the battery in this watch ever because it's powered by light. I wish my smartwatch was.
Yeah, that's
Now,
actually really cool because you could travel with this forever and never ever have to change the battery on it.
yeah, that comes not from us saying it. That's what you're going to hear from Citizen.
To date, Citizen has prevented over 20 million batteries from being disposed of because, as we know, batteries are really bad for the environment, especially when they're being disposed of. And this is a really eco-friendly complication, just like Seiko's Kinetic is also the same.
Well, 80% of their watches now have the Echo Drive. Citizen Watches has been around since 1918. Sometimes we think they came into being, what, in the 60s? No, 1918.
Wow.
One of the most recognized, like Seiko, names in the watch world. A lot of style, a lot of panache, and a lot of coolness because no one is going to know this is a Bluetooth compatible watch. It's going to talk to your smartphone and it's going to alert you of messages, calls, texts, emails. It's all right there at that dial at the 6 o'clock position. Congratulations to all of you who are picking this up. You're not going to have to pay the $525 or even our $367. How about $311? Only $52 to get the coolest Christmas gift home. Hey, Mom, Grandma, if you're watching out there, this is the watch to purchase. Because you're going to be able to get a lot of watch, and they're going to think it's so cool. Oh, you got me a watch. Yeah, it'll talk to your smartphone. 178582, the Citizen Proximity.
This is for the purist that
It really
still
is.
wants to be. Quick mention here, 143056. We've got brands that everybody knows and loves, like Citizen and Michael Kors. $155 is your price for a $275 Michael Kors. Now this is in the full size 45 millimeter. Japanese chronograph quartz movement, everything is blacked out. So this is that big, bad, bold, blacked out timepiece.
Let me stress that our beauty shot there kind of white balanced a little bit off our background. This is much, much more easy to read in person than what you're seeing right here. But if you do want a Michael Kors all blacked out watch, the runway chronograph is beautiful, but this is showing it as slightly darker than it actually is.
$25 gets it home. 143056 is your item number. 100 meters of water resistance as well. Okay, moving on now. TW Steel, the 48 millimeter Grandeur Tech. 124019. This is a big, bad, bold watch. It's also that high fashion design because, of course, you've got this white and rose color combination. Now, this has a Citizen Miyota quartz chronograph movement inside, and I want to show you the movement complication first because I find it to be one of the coolest features of the timepiece, or at least the complications.
You have to go to a precisionist to get the similar style.
That's right. I'm going to come in a little bit closer. I know we have to probably refocus. I'm sorry. I just want you to be able to see what we've got going on here. Okay. Looking inside our watch, our dial here, we've got a silvery white backdrop, all rose tone hour markers. We'll get to all of the aesthetics in a moment. Look at the 3 sub-dials you've got here. So you'll notice that you've got your 60-minute totalizer right there at the 9 o'clock position. You've got your totalizer right here for your chronograph, which is actually part of your AM/PM indicator. And down here, you've got your continuous running seconds. This also works for your chronograph. Let me show you. So your watch is engaged in regular timekeeping right now. To start the chronograph, what you do is you hit the pusher at the 4 o'clock position. Now watch the 6 o'clock subdial. I want it to pass by quickly. All of a sudden, it's now engaged to be a chrono hand. Now I'm going to hit the 2 o'clock pusher and start my chronograph. So that big hand begins to sweep around the dial. I can use my chronograph for up to 60 minutes. And down here, it will give me 1/10 of a second accuracy. I'm going to stop my chronograph. Got 0.8 of a second, all of that. I'm going to reset it, just like I normally would. It's still engaged in its chronograph. If I want to go back to keeping 60 seconds for my currently displayed hours, I hit that 4 o'clock pusher again. It's going to speed up and then catch up, and immediately when it gets to the exact time, it's going to begin counting in slow ticks. So what it actually does is it holds internally the time, so that way it knows, even when it's being used as a chronograph, not to miss a single second. How cool is that? Looking now aesthetically, it's also a really cool watch. You've got these really tall, hand-applied Arabic numeral hour markers done in a rose tone that almost look like they're pressed up against the underside of the crystal. You have a true multi-piece case design, not just with the multi-pieces for your crown and pushers, but look at the actual case itself. You've got multiple pieces, your case back and your bezel here, which are bolted together using these bolts that they have left in the silver tone so that you can see all of the different pieces all the way around. It's a big watch, yes, but being able to see into the inner workings of the construction and to have a Citizen Miyota complication like that is the reason why this is a near $900 watch. Look at your price. It's almost ridiculous. I'm going to pass it over to Wiley because it is a 48 millimeter. You should try it on.
This is a beautiful watch. I mean, the moment you pick it up, every element of the watch is well executed. They did not have to put this level of detail in the watch. I'm going to tell you right now, please trust me on this, this feels more like the $875 price point. At $194, that still is ridiculously low.
Looks good on the wrist.
This is beautiful. I'll tell you what I love about it. These actual hexagonal screws that are in here are actually holding the bezel in place, and they are almost like bright work. They're a bit of jewelry attached to the watch, even though they're industrial. Notice it right on the edge, Megan. Can you see that they're polished on the tops? Mm-hmm. I mean, that is just gorgeous. Folks,
Man bling.
well, you don't want it to be over. You know, we don't necessarily want, Swarovski crystals on there, but look how well that looks on the wrist.
You look very handsome.
Why, thank
What
you.
a perfect way to end our show. We know we went pretty close to the end there. We wanted to give as much time to get as many watches out as possible. You have until midnight Eastern Standard Time tonight to shop our Black Friday weekend specials. Tomorrow, big day at WorldofWatches.com with Cyber Monday. Don't miss out. Wiley and I will be back again tomorrow. Next week, not here tomorrow. Forget
Tomorrow?
that. Before we officially say goodbye, we're going to recap. Let's see what the #1 seller is. As
Oh my
nobody predicted.
goodness.
Wow.
No, I did. I predicted this. Not really, but I would have because
This means we only have, one remaining?
Oh, wow. Yeah, this is the 44.
Oh, we have a few remaining of these. Okay,
This
we've got
is
about
the
5.
44 millimeter. You know, I showed the 47. By the way, friends and family, if you really love this watch, you want to see a larger configuration, there's a 47 millimeter I showed last night. This one is the 44, which is the perfect size for my wrist, and apparently somebody else out there too.
I love the dial.
It's a $10,000 watch. Megan, look, I have the card for this right from Breitling that I got day before yesterday.
It's the exact same price. That's funny.
And it's handwritten by
Angel.
Angel. And we weren't supposed to read that on the air. But that's what they were telling me the price of the watch is, and we're doing it at half. So if you're
Congratulations.
if you work at the Breitling store and you want to get a Breitling for even less than what Breitling will sell it to you, see us here at World of Watches. $981 gets it home. Next watch, what's on our list?
Coming up right after that, a Ben & Sons watch. We didn't even get to air this one. This is a 44 millimeter Marshall.
I like that.
$80 is the price. I love that we go from a $10,000 watch to an $80 watch. 287-673, 6 payments of $13.33. Gold and black with a white dial. 287-673. All right, let's get more out there.
That's that satin finish gold too.
Okay, this is the other one. Okay, so this is the 47
47.
millimeter. All right, look at here we go. 264-175. A little bit more money a month to get the full size 47mm of the Chronomat GMT. I know it looks a little gunmetal-y there. It is all silver tone. 264-175.
It's slightly darker though. It's not a bright work. I'm crying right now because of the Breitling
A
selling.
Breitling
Love it.
for 40% off. And the Movado Sports Edition, it's going to wear closer to a 40mm. $70 down. This is a price-driven deal. A Swiss-made Movado for $70 down. 122631. Again, it's super slim. Prices are dropping. It's super slim, and it wears like a 40mm.
Thought maybe the set fell out of your ring. But
Funny.
the Ben & Sons 44mm Voyager chronograph.
Voyager.
We don't know why that's up there. They've been drinking in the control room. But this is a beautiful watch. It's in that field style, military style, but it's a 21st century size and design. You're going to have a lot of compliments on this watch, and you're certainly going to be very proud that you only spent $80 instead of $395. Congratulations to all of you who spent the $13 to get it home.
Looks like the best-selling tungsten was the Superman one with the royal blue dial, accents of red and silver tone. 44mm. It's a weighty watch. It's going to be heavy because tungsten is a dense material. It's also going to last a lifetime as it is all scratch resistant. Plus, you get a sapphire crystal. 5-year warranty on the Swiss Etta G10 211 quartz chronograph movement. 70594. $30 gets it home.
And, of course, closing out with the Lucien Piccard 44mm Optima. This is a beautiful crescent moon-shaped cutaway that's going to give you beautiful insight into that open heart configuration, and we're so glad you're able to get that watch home at a bargain price. You've been watching Swiss Watch International's World of Watches. On behalf of Megan and myself, we look forward to seeing you next week. Congratulations on all the great deals. Be safe out there, and we'll see you. Thanks for watching with us.
We love you guys. Take
Bye-bye.
care.